Boo-da-boo-doo-doo-doo. Come on, Barbie, let's go party. Bow, 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 bow. Come on, Barbie, let's go party. Wow, everything is just so messy. Right now, I'm living in absolute chaos. Well, actually, that's not true. The chaos was worse, like yesterday. But then, Bobo's the best daughter slash roommate a person could ever have. Because she's like, Mom, you've done some things for me. I'm going to go start organizing your clothes clear out. I'm like, that's so nice of you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. You gotta have friends. Ooh, love you so. Hi, art music. Wedding day. Oh, won't you marry me, Bill? Won't you marry me, Bill? Won't you marry me, Bill? I love you so, always will. Yeah, good morning, Diana, art music, how are you? Good morning, Pepper Saltina, Pepper, yeah. How's the new bubby? How's the new bubby? The little bubby, little tiny bubby. So cute. I love it. I know, right? Grandma, Granny, Nana. What are you gonna be, Pepper? Have you figured out? Isn't it nice? It's nice and cozy to start off the morning a little bit. We need as much cozy as possible, frankly. Crazy days. It's gonna be a wild week. I'm gonna strap in. I'm gonna do a lot of self-care, and I'm gonna be really taking care of myself this week. Lots of triggers waiting out there to trigger you. Don't let them do it. Peppermint tea. Ooh, yeah. That sounds really good. Although I am enjoying my coffee. But I do love a good cup of peppermint tea. There's nothing wrong. He's adorable, smiling on the regular. Oh, happy baby. I'm so happy baby. I love happy babies. That's so cute. How fun. Hi, Lee. I always underestimate how much time it takes Ray to go on vacation. Oh, girl. That's right. It's a weekday and you're gonna smoke some weed. Yeah. It's only a weekday and you're gonna smoke some weed. Yeah. I like it. I love it, Lee. I love vacation, Lee. I'm here for vacation, Lee. I'll vacating with you. Oh my goodness, Jesus. Oh my goodness. Why did my coffee get all scummy? It's so scummy. Anyway, good morning. How are you? How was your weekend? GP. Oh my God, GP's coming in right before bedtime to say howdy. Isn't that nice? I got like, do you ever, why does my coffee get like this scum on it? I am indeed, I'm loaded for bear. Should be able to join. Oh, God, Lee. What is this, heaven? Oh my God, yeah. Diana, GP's creations are just stunning. That's so nice. I love it. Yeah, welcome. I'm so glad. I'm gladly. God, vacations, like, working is fucking hard, okay? It just is. It's just hard. I think work should be looked at completely differently. And give me coffee. Good morning. Give me good morning. Give me coffee. Yeah, give me coffee in my Lolo's Lounge cup. Available on the website. This is actually a nice cup. It's like a little raised print. It's not like a sticker, but it's like it's not enameled, but it feels like enamel, where it's like a little raised. It's actually a nice cup. Little insulated cup. It has a top and a straw that comes with it. It's kind of cool. It's available on the website. It's got the classic logo on it. Designed by my daughter. Well, based on my father's World War II plane, but also redrawn by my daughter. That's the provenance of the logo. Neil, bonjour, mes amis. Why when you speak French, do you have to get like, I will. I wish I could show more of her because she's so talented, but I also have haters and they will just try to ruin her day, and I don't want her day to be ruined. She doesn't deserve that for sure. So that's why we can't have nice things, because people need to be mean. Let's see. The older I get, the harder it is to go back to work after vacation. 25 years with a company will do that. Fuck yes, Lee. Congratulations, though, on your tenure. That is really an accomplishment, my love. What an accomplishment you have there. Dancing. We're dancing this morning. I did wake up on time. I'm really proud of myself. I didn't really go to bed on time. But I've heard that old people don't need that much sleep. So I'm kind of going with that wives' tale. And just kind of convincing myself that I don't need sleep. Does that make sense? Oh my God, this coffee is so good. I appreciate you too. Oh my gosh. None of us are anything alone. I mean, we are. We're lots of things alone. I don't mean to say that. But we're so much more together. Like alone, we're great. Together, we're just like amazing. So yeah, I'm really grateful for this community every fucking day. Oops, I didn't mean to swear. But every day. And I think you guys are really awesome. And I think together we really create something that's fun and worthwhile. So yeah, I'm feeling really good about what we're doing here. Morning butterflies, dog and the butterfly, up in the air he likes. Wait, now I lost the tune. Dog and the butterfly, up in the air he likes to fly. Dog and butterfly. Ooh, 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 ooh. Wish I knew that song more. I'd sing it for you. Flight of light. Butterflies are free. Are they though? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, they are. 6 easily. Oh, 6 Saturday into Sunday. Slept all day Sunday, then woke up at 2:30 a.m. Oh, girl, I'm so sorry. I hope you get some rest. I hate that. I've done that. All too often. Oh, I hate watching the clock too, as you wake up in the middle of the night and you go, okay, I'm not doing this. This is not happening. Free until they're not. Yeah, exactly. Butterfly's nose. Yeah, panda hug. Panda hugs are good. I like pandas. Pandas are so sweet. Really sweet. You know what else are really sweet animals that you wouldn't expect to be? Porcupines. Porcupines are the sweetest, cutest little schnuggle animals. I mean, I know you don't schnuggle them, but like their noses are just pink and soft and cute. They're so boop. You just want to boop, boop. Anyway, I'm telling you right now, you got to take a second look. You got to take a second look at the porcupine. The porcupine is it's a beautiful animal. It's so sweet. Jim, good morning. That was some storm last night. Made it out okay. We were lucky. Jim, I'm so glad. It's storm time, isn't it? Man, your guys are in the thick of the season of the hurricane, whatever. Yeah, don't hug a porcupine. I would not. I would definitely not hug a porcupine. But you can boop their nose, and they're very sweet. If they let you. I would make sure you have permission. I would get permission before you boop anybody's nose, frankly. I mean, that's just good practice. I don't think that's anything. There's no spiciness around that. Fortunately, you are on the rise. You are needed. Yes. Girl. Pick 10 tomatoes. Oh my God. Are you growing like standard? Like, is there a particular type of tomato you're growing easily, or is there just like pretty standard tomatoes? Porcupines look like walking loofahs. Yeah, but you definitely don't want to scrub yourself with one. Autocorrect is annoying. It's true. You are stating a fact, ma'am. Porcupines are very docile. I know they do. They're just really they're just really cute. They're really and they've got sweet little eyes, you know. They're actually really cute animals if you look at them up close. But or did it say alto? Teehees? I don't think I get it. Yeah, easily. I hope you feel better. Get some rest. It's gonna be a long week. You're gonna need your strength. I'll tell you what, we're all gonna need some strength and some restraint. I'm praying for restraint. It's not going well so far, but we'll see. Badger, did I see you not come? Where did you go? Where are you? Badger, I didn't even see you. There you are. Good morning. There you are. Badger. Hey, you guys want to see something? I want to brag for a minute. Can I brag for a minute? Oh, is there a protest already? I was looking for one. I didn't find one. Hold on. Dog and butterfly. Oh, yeah, I heard AP is front and center with Baldy. Is Baldy there with her? What's going on? Never mind. I don't want to know. I don't care. Yeah, well, I can't show any of theirs. I bought a Porsche 911 when I was a kid and thought I had it made. I thought chicks would be falling out of the sky. I was getting out of it one day and this super hot chick walked over towards me and you married her. Let me guess. Let me guess. Let me guess you married her. But did she know who? I mean, she knows. Okay, never mind. Did she know who he was, or did someone have to point him out to her? An asshole because I can be. Okay, let me see. Whatever. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm really delighted, and I'm so... She does? Really? You sure about that? Okay. Okay. I wonder where she learned them from. Bing! and she asked, what's the difference between a Porsche and a porcupine? One has the pricks on the outside and the other has the pricks on the inside. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. Chicago rush hour is going to be a mess. The sidewalks will be like New York, where Trump was being held accountable easily. Reminder. Yeah. Is that your Porsche? Are you just glad to see me? Well, how can you, well, okay, yeah. I've heard that joke before, though. That is a funny joke. Pricks on the inside. It's an old one. It's an old joke. Let me see if I can find anything from outside. There is a news conference at in a little bit, in about 10 minutes, that I'll go to, but I'll see if there's anything happening. I don't really see anything, but mostly on YouTube. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really give a shit about opportunistic people that are mean to other people. I don't really care about those people. When you disregard humans and you have such an ego that you can't even, then I don't have time for you. So, said he shaving off his state to go undercover. Oh, he's shaving off his mustache. Yeah, I heard that. Mae West, is that a pistol in your pocket, or are you just glad to see me? It's so true. Did she say that? Did she say? I mean, was that really? Now I can't recall what movie that might have been from. Yeah, is he going to the? Where is Mike Lindell? Is he going to the thing? Did she get a promo code? No, I'm just kidding. Quills in bio. Quills in bio. Yeah, I am the porcupine. I'm as avoidable as a porcupine. That's for sure. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. I don't think I don't think that's live. What I'm looking at now, I think that's from yesterday. But it says live because it's annoying. Claimed nobody will recognize him. I'm sure that'll be the way. I didn't watch Mike Lindell yesterday, actually. That's not it. Oh, I know. Let me see if I can find 7 Chicago. Yeah. Oh, there's the DNC breakfast.
I'm energized and excited, and at the same time, I feel bad.
There's a Illinois delegation breakfast. Max Flower, he is a pillow puff spy. Dun, dun. He's a pillow. Yeah, no, he is insane. Yeah, I know. I know. I've been following him for quite a number of years now, so I'm probably pretty intimately familiar with how insane he is, but you know. Adam Mokler, Midas Touch, will be on the ground and doing big interviews. Yeah, Adam Mokler's good. It's a battle, you know? It's just a battle. It's a battle to be real. It's a battle to be a nice person. It's a battle to be betrayed by people. It's a battle. It's just a battle, fucking battle. Fucking battle. Fucking sick of it. Fucking sick to fucking death of it. Okay, well, instead of that, I'm going to go ahead. Is that... Imagine having more gray matter in your pillows than in your head. Okay, I don't know who this guy is, but I'll go ahead and put him on because I need a distraction right now. Oh, I get weary. I get so weary. I get so weary. I get so weary. I get weary. I get weary. I get weary. And you are constantly reminded how pathetic you are. That's what it is. I'm constantly reminded how pathetic I am. Okay. Can't find Stephanie right now, except for she might have been on Rumble. Hold on. Hold on, please. Hold on, darlings. 7 minutes till the press briefing. No. Hundreds of thousands spent on clothes and doesn't even attend a rally. Right? What the hell, lady? What the hell? What the hee-haw? What the hee-hazzle? Okay, well, this is the breakfast. I don't know who this is.
I get so sick and tired of listening to his horse shit on TV. Because every time he opens his pie hole, all he can do is lie. Because he doesn't know how to tell the
I don't know who that is. Does anyone know who that is?
It's ridiculous. I think, really, my daughter, my youngest one is a junior. She just started school today.
He's a caterer.
At the University of Miami. And I said, what do you want to do?
He's a caterer, and he just stood up and started talking, and everybody was like, this guy's great.
Because there's plenty of assholes in our country.
Okay, all right. This is a kid-friendly show, sir.
Again, we know what we're up against. We are the trade union movement. We are politicians that have supported us every step of the way. And
what?
God bless you, and I mean that. Thank you from the bottom of our heart. And we are in for the fight. The speaker talked about, are we up to it? You bet your ass we're up to it. Right?
Oh, I think he must be the tech guy. He's Josh. He's Topher.
You know what?
I think that he is,
We come out swinging. We won't back down. We won't stand down.
Oh, God, the sound is terrible.
We won't be kept down.
I think he must be like, Illinois state legislature or something.
We are the great state of Illinois, and it will be your spark that lights the fire, that leads to Kamala Harris being our president.
They're coming to take him away. Not soon enough.
Stand up, rise up.
Pathetic. It's so pathetic. What is valued in this world is absolutely motherfucking pathetic. Opportunistic, fake, stupid, narcissistic. Who, Jim? Freedom bleeding ear thing. I know it's been memory hold, but you're right, Max. I agree with you. I haven't forgotten.
Please welcome to the stage President of the Illinois Federation of Teachers, Dan Montgomery.
I don't think I want to watch this. Let me see if I can find something. Oops.
I know I had it in my contract that I never have to follow Jerry O'Sullivan.
Jerry O'Sullivan. That's who it
I
is.
was going to follow Cory Booker. That would have been bad enough. Hats off, Mr. President. Thank you for that. I'm Dan Montgomery. I'm president of the Illinois Federation of Teachers. I'm the first out gay labor leader of a statewide union in Illinois. Took me a while to say that. Most importantly, I represent 100,000 plus pre-school, pre-birth teachers, support staff,
Pre-birth?
paraprofessionals, college professors in public and private.
Any update on the mustache?
Public employees under every constitutional
Yeah, has he
officer
shaved?
in this great state. Our members are proud labor unionists. They're not just educators, they're labor unionists.
Okay, I'm sorry, but this bores me so much you can't even. The little tiny political speeches bore me the fuck out of anything. This is why the tactics that work on the right don't work on the left. You know what I mean? Like certain things don't work for certain people. Like I'm convinced that there's like some core differences between people who are conservative leaning and who are liberal leaning, and they're bullshit meters. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. This is what I want to listen to next. It's in a few minutes. So we'll take a look at this, and then we'll take a look at that. I was watching these waves yesterday. I was watching people surf yesterday. So what, let me see. I knew going into this week, after this weekend and a couple things I saw, that this was going to be bad. And it's just going to be bad. So, I don't even want to ask. I'm not even going to ask. I'm going to go to Rumble and see what happens. Where is Lindell? What happened to Lindell? Kyle Seraphin. I just want to see you.
Brought it out. So just like you heard them try to do the weird thing, the problem is that
this guy is the pretend. He's like a pretend whistleblower who actually works for Mike Flynn.
Their weird ideas are that maybe we could end a bunch of human lives. We could stop the chain of humanity. That's a weird move. Instead, they're going to try to now try exhausted. So look for the pivot from weird, as we said earlier, to exhausted. I want to give you the example. I found the clip. This is Joe Scarborough talking about it. And I don't know that he makes the case either. In the same way that Kamala just couldn't make the case about what the investment was and what the return on investment was and how that's going to work. Joe's kind of like, Trump's not really that tired. And
I like to drop my Cash App in there.
People aren't really tired of him, but
you never know. Someone might send me
$5.
$5. I don't know.
It's exhaustion.
You know, there really is. Sam's right. There is a generational divide here that usually sells very well in presidential politics if it's carried through the right way. I will say also, the one word that I always saw as Donald Trump's biggest challenge was exhaustion. Not his personal exhaustion, but the exhaustion of those who had supported him in 2016, some who still supported him in 2020, but were exhausted, especially after January the 6th, exhausted after just the constant fights, the constant insults, the constant battles. And so now it seems you have exhaustion on that side versus energy and joy, which is what Kamala Harris and her team are projecting forward and trying to project, saying, hey, this is what we're about. And it is a bit like hope and change. But right now, it really seems to be working because Kamala.
Did he just say wheelie seems to be working? Is he trying to do the freedom thing? By the way, Kamala Harris has had the same
that was the dumbest thing
artist
you've ever
that generated the Barack Obama, the iconic sort of poster that said hope. It says forward. That sounds pretty progressive. Forward towards fascism, forward towards what? I don't know. Again, that word joy, you heard it. in addition to whatever he just said there. Go get it. But they're going to push this. So Tim Walz is going to try to do it. Nothing like a 60-year-old guy who...
All right, shut up, Kyle. Thank you for joining. You guys just started. What do you mean? Oh, whoops. That's not very good. I need to make that. Shoot. I wish I had better skills. Oops, sorry. I had better skills to do this, but I don't, unfortunately. There we go. Man, they're just not wanting to do that the right way. And oops, that's not what I wanted to do. That's not what. Come on. Come on, Grease. Well, okay, we're going to get half-assed pictures. I get it. I get it. Are you guys going to do your thing? Because we were waiting for you. A fun. Nice to see. Oh, hi, Paul Langan. How are you? Oh, my gosh. Good to see you. Been a minute. Fun listening to a glue-sniffing cultist. Just watched a pair. Oh, God. I love woodpeckers. I was just talking to my sister about woodpeckers, and she has woodpeckers at her house, too. And she was like, they're so pretty. And I'm like, they are really pretty. I mean, they're not like, I hate the tree shit because that noise is too much. Well, this is going well. The Matrix has glitched, everybody. But I really like what they look like. They're really cute. I don't know what's happened here, but I think the world has ended and we just don't know about it yet. Types less and listens more. 80% listening, 20% typing. That's right. Neo. Well, Paul, it's good to see you. I'm glad you're here. I was thinking about you the other day. I was thinking, where is Paul Langan? That's okay. There's nothing wrong with typing less and thinking and just observing. Lots of blue jays. Ooh, blue jays can be so mean. I mean, I like them, but they can be really mean. I mean, I like all birds, actually. I got to hang out with a bird keeper, you know, when I worked at the zoo. We went to see one of the board members, and we brought the bald eagle with us from the zoo to do something for the board member. It was just kind of dumb, but the point is that I got to ride in the van with the keeper for the eagle, and it was amazing, like talking to him and just like being around that bird. That eagles are so amazing. Like they're so beautiful, and I don't know, there's something about really large birds of prey that are just really stunning, and I don't know. I just love. I was forever changed by being like so close to a very large bald eagle. They're fucking huge. First of all, they are fucking huge. And I'm overwhelmed sometimes by some animals. You know, like gorillas overwhelm me. Like they're amazing. Like rhinos. There's some really amazing animals, obviously, but I don't know. Anyway, being around like really large raptors and stuff like that was really, that bald eagle, man, that just got me. So majestic. So just takes your breath away when you're up close to it. I love rhinos. Rhinos are actually really nice too. I mean, you know, generally. I mean, the one I met. The one I met was. Hello, kitty. Yeah, and I was at the zoo when a keeper got their arm, removed by I think it was a lion. I don't think it was a tiger. Oh no, it might have been a tiger. No, I think it was a tiger. Yeah, I was there for a lot of like incidents, actually. I didn't have anything to do with them. I wasn't even there on one day when the tiger escaped. But Yeah, I do remember when the keeper got mauled. I mean, she's fine. She did lose the lower half of her arm, but she's fine. Other than that, I know that sounds odd, but I don't know. Keepers are different people. Zookeepers are very different people. They love animals for the most part. I'm sure there's bad keepers, but most of the keepers I met, in fact, all of them, really love animals. And they actually aren't really into the zoo concept, believe it or not. Yeah, there was a tiger escape at the zoo when I worked there. It was right after I left, actually. Like a couple days. I wasn't working that day, but I'd been working like a couple days before that. She'd go to a secondhand shop. She had an amazing sense of comedy about it. Believe me, like this woman was absolutely heroic, and she loved those animals so much, like so much. It was just, But yeah, well, I mean, it was feeding time, and feeding time is very dangerous with big cats. That's just the way it is. Rhinos can run 40 miles an hour. I was in South Africa on a tourist for the UK, accidentally got between a mother and a baby, and she was killed? Holy crap. That's terrible. What a terrible thing. Wow. That's terrible. I don't know. The only rhino I met was pretty docile. They were pretty, like, normal. Look I made this thing. I made a schedule. I'm really proud of myself. This is part of what I worked on yesterday. Because I'm really trying to be, like, organized. Let me show you what I did. I'm really proud of it. So I have the days of the week, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then I have which show, right? Wake and bake or lounge or play. And then I have what's the topic. And then what's my links for the show? All my links. Isn't that great? I'm so proud of myself. I'm really proud of myself for that. Anyway, I don't know. Isn't that nice? I was really proud of myself. I was like, ooh. Because I'd like to have a place where the links are all in one spot if I've thought of them beforehand. And then maybe I could just like click them. I love organization. No, I don't. I'm actually a slob. No, I'm not a slob. That's not true. Well, maybe I am. I get overwhelmed by clutter. Yes, gaming's coming up. I was going to do something yesterday, but then I just got really tired. But no, definitely some gaming is coming up. I haven't filled it in all the way. This was just for, the start. But I worked on this yesterday. I hope Shapiro gets a speaking slot at the DNC after that speech he delivered in Philly. I loathe sentimentality, but that speech was giving me feelings. He was very good, Max. I'm not a big Josh Shapiro fan either, but I thought he was very good. I really did. Isn't that nice? I'm a natural snob, which is why I need a Blue Jay tempered mate. What's a Blue Jay tempered mate? Does that mean somebody who bullies you? I don't understand. That doesn't make any sense to me. Hi. Oh, I didn't even say hi to Oomph. Oomph, you came in earlier. How are you? How are you? Ooh. Lawyers losing licenses. There's an in-person hearing for the Board of Professional Responsibility for the DC Bar, who has my favorite man, Phil Fox. I love him so much. Well, the press briefing is disappointing at best. So there. That. Oh, you know what?
Party of civil rights. We are the party
Corey.
that believes every American has dignity and worth. This is not just a Democratic Party thing. This is an American thing. Our creed and our calling is not just for us
Eats
to
wasps.
get along.
No.
Our creed and our calling is for us to love one another.
I mean,
more
my
than
bed is
ever
very
in our
simple.
nation right
It's
now.
like I just have a
That
comfort.
is the
It's almost
call.
like a.
I got to know Kamala Harris years before she got
It's
to the
almost just
United
like a
States
mat,
Senate.
like a wrapped
And she and I talked a
mattress,
lot
and
about the
then
need for
a
healing,
comforter.
because
I
even
don't have
back
a lot of
then,
bedding or
in
anything.
the early 2000s,
It's more
we
simple.
saw our nation being torn apart.
So
by
yeah, I guess it's
rising
made.
hate
I fold
and
my blanket every
rising
morning.
conflict.
Does that
People who
count?
began to believe that the lines
I
that
fold my
divide
little
us
comforter thingy.
are stronger than the binds that tie us.
I guess that's making
Well,
my
that's
bed.
just not true. So I want to give you all a challenge this week. Challenge first from me, but I'm going to end with the challenge that Kamala Harris gave me. The challenge that comes directly from me is to remember how we fight is how we win. Not just when we fight, but how we fight is also how we win. Donald Trump is trying to take us down a dark road, but we are people of light, and all of us have to be light workers. Now,
We are the people of
challenge
light.
Kamala Harris is a little more interesting. This
My
is
son
really
has a
where I
house in
wanna
the
end.
water, and there's an
And I
eagle's
wanna
nest
tell
in a
you,
tree. It's the
when I got
same height
invited
as
by
the
your
baby's
party chairwoman
playroom.
to speak
Oh,
here,
that's
she
so
is
cool.
an extraordinary woman, and I want to thank her for giving me for a little while her daughter to work on my staff in the United States Senate. And so I think she'll remember this, but this was a very historic day in the Senate. You see, we were all on the floor. Very rarely are all 100 senators on the floor. And it was
Oh,
an exciting
no.
moment because
Am I being
we were
censored
all there
already?
voting to confirm Ketanji Brown Jackson's in the United States Supreme Court. Now, listen. This is very, very fascinating to me because one Republican senator hadn't come to vote. We're all waiting for the last vote to be cast, and soon we realized it might take a few minutes. So a lot of us got up, a lot of us are pacing. I'm pacing back and forth, getting very emotional, trying not to cry because my staff will only allow me to have one public cry a month. And so I suddenly bump into another guy on the Senate floor. Now this guy has more titles than the Newark Public Library. Reverend, Dr. Senator Raphael Warnock. Now, he bumps into me and he immediately sees my struggle. He says, Senator Booker, should I pray for you so you don't cry? And I'll be like, I need Jesus, man. And suddenly, as we're standing there, some staffer comes over and says, the presiding officer would like to speak to you. Now, you have to understand, Raphael Warnock and I both grew up in female-dominated families, and so we have this reflex. If a black woman summons you, I have to go. It's just hard to resist that. Robin Kelly understands this. Lauren Underwood understands this. That's their power over me. And so next thing you know, we walk over to the presiding officer. Now, if you see the Senate, the presiding officer is the highest point in the Senate. You're not allowed to stand up there because you would be higher than that. So this
Good morning,
is a scene
Paul
you gotta
J.
see. It is literally us
I'm so
bowing
bored.
down,
I'm
like
sorry.
sort of
Cory
Colin
Booker
Kaepernick
is
style,
so
leaning on our
boring.
knee, and to talk to
Can
the presiding
can I get
officer.
an
Now,
amen?
she
Can I?
looks at us and says,
Does anybody
"Fellas,
agree with me that Cory
this is a
Booker
very
is just
historic
so
moment."
boring?
Now, I know what she was talking about, but I know it's a very
sorry.
historic moment because this is probably the first time in American
Oh,
history
Jay,
three
what
black
are you
people got
doing?
together on the Senate floor.
Start something already. You
And
guys
the
are
three of
so
us were three of
boring.
them, only the 7
Why are you
popularly
so
elected black
boring?
people ever to the United States Senate.
Why?
And Kamala Harris looks at the two of us and says, "This is a historic moment."
Oh,
Danny
okay,
understands
fine.
why this is a historic moment. She says, we're about to elect the first African-American woman, a woman who's probably, if you just look at her resume, the most qualified person ever to ascend to the highest court in the land. And she goes, you all should remember this moment. Do something to remember this moment. In fact, you two should write a letter right now to some young girl in your lives so that they have a piece of history. And then she thinks about it. She goes, no. She opens her leather binder and she goes, you take my stationery. And there were 2 pieces, just like as if she had planned, only 2 pieces of stationery there with her vice presidential seal and her name on it, and she hands them over to us. We both got chills. Now, Reverend Warnock, he's not from Jersey. He's a little bit more obedient than us Jersey people. And he goes right back and he writes his letter to his daughter. Now, I happen to be part of those childless cat people in America. I see some others in this room. You all are catastic. You all are clawsome. These dad jokes are perfect. Come on, Executive Director, I had to do that. What do you call a guy like me with no kids that still tells dad jokes? You call him a faux pas. Oh, the pain in this room is palpable.
Does anybody know what this is?
Palpable.
Oops.
All right, so I now have this burden. I have to write a letter. I see Tammy Duckworth here. Oh my gosh, Senator, I'm sorry I'm doing this to you. I'm making this very difficult to hear. So I know exactly what I have to do. It's a burden. I've got to write a letter. And I didn't write that letter for literally weeks, but I thought about it, and then suddenly I had this very profound realization. This is what I want to end with and share with you. You see, the more I thought about the words that I was going to put down on that paper, the more I realized that there was something deeper that Kamala Harris was asking us to do. You see, Ketanji Brown Jackson didn't get on the Supreme Court just because she was the most qualified for the job. She didn't get on the Supreme Court just because she's an extraordinary jurist. No, we put her on the Supreme Court when we elected Joe Biden and a Democratic senator. I thought that the real profound thing that Kamala Harris was telling me, I learned in a small black church in New Jersey where I grew up. That faith without works it is not the words we say that define us. It's not what we put down when we're writing our stories that define us. The letter that we write that is most profound is a letter we write with the actions that we take every single day. And so I want to tell you, Illinois, that all of us have to decide what letter are we going to write for these next consequential 80 days in American history. When generations yet unborn look back and say, where was my great-grandfather? Where was my great-grandmother? It's not going to be the letters that they wrote in ink. It'll be the letters they wrote with the actions they take. Did you stand up for democracy? Did you work for a woman's right to choose? Did you fight to protect Social Security? That's the letter you write. And you write that letter and how you organize. You write that letter and how many phone calls you make, how many doors you knock on. We need to write a letter because all of us in this room were benefiting from letters written by generations gone by. All of us in this room drink deeply from wells of freedom and liberty that we didn't dig. All of us in this room sit before banquet tables prepared for us by our ancestors. All of us in this room are from the love letters that were written by generations gone past. But now, it's our turn on history's stage. Right now, our turn to pick up the pen of history and let us tell a story that in the next 80 days, we did what it took. We rose to the challenge. We met the obstacles that we overcame, that we fought. Because when we fight, thank you, Lord. Thank you.
Oh, good job. Good job, Corey. You still got it. You still got it, mister. You still got it.
Speakers and officials
That was actually a great
joined
speech.
for the Media Q&A, please gather on the stage. Press
Oh,
will
media
be able to ask
Q&A.
questions for 10 minutes.
No way. All right, hold on. Let me go ahead and find something else. Something else. Something else. Something else. Let me find something else. Oh, you know what I have? Hold on. I got this. I got this. I got that. Can take a look at the people setting up the planters, refreshing the plants, checking on the soil, to see if it's moist. Can see that. It's cool. Bum, bum, bum. The press briefing has not begun. Disappointing. Do, 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 do. Think of me, babe, whenever some sweet talking girl comes along, singing a song. Anyway, all right. Well, we'll talk to each other. Where are the morning protests? I don't know. Where are the morning protests? Do we have an update from the field? Maybe the protesters don't get up early. Maybe they decided to sleep in. Who knows? No, I don't know. Is there anything happening outside? I haven't been able to find anything on YouTube and Rumble. I mean, I've looked two probably pretty pathetic places, but I haven't really seen anything pop up yet. And they're supposed to have some kind of... Where's my reporter in the field? Where is my reporter in the field? Dang it. I mean, you'd think we'd have like someone who's there live, right? Mueller, she wrote. Wait, who's there? Allison Gill. Yeah. Sleeping off another hangover. Am I right? Yeah, I don't know where the reporters are. Where are the reporters? Where are they? I don't know. But it's going to be a busy week, and I think what's going to happen, so I can say this about today. Today is Monday. I have to keep reminding myself, today is Monday. Today is Monday. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. I think I'm not going to be doing the space tonight. I have to put something on Twitter to announce that, but I don't think I'm going to do the space because I think the coverage of this begins at like 4 p.m. my time, 7 p.m. Eastern, or sooner, or 5, which is 8 o'clock Eastern. So I think I have something scheduled for 5, which is normally when the space would be. So I think I'm going to cancel it. I tried to do both last time. That was the dumbest thing I've ever done. Well, among many dumb things. It's like constant. So I think that it starts. So I think I'm going to keep it simple this week, and we won't do a space this week, which I will promote that message so people aren't waiting for something that isn't going to happen. And then we'll return to regular programming next week. But I think for today, I won't try to half-ass either one. You know what I mean? Like end up half-assing both. I don't know. There's nobody there. It's not time yet. It's not time, I guess. It's not time for anyone. I'm wearing my Goonies shirt today. Goonies for life. Goonies never die. Wait, is that what this says? Never say die. Yeah, Goonies never say die. Which is good. Mm-hmm. And then I have a bunch of, I have this idea for this show. Hold on. I have this idea for a show called Meet the Maggots. Hold on. Let me get it. Oh, and then Bobo made this really cool schedule. That was really cool. I love that. Bobo's so cool. Meet the Maggots. Here we go. This is what... Oh, whoops. Where is it? Oh, here. I want this... I think I'm going to do this. And what it... Oh, it's not really showing, is it? Yeah, there it is. Okay. I want to do this show called Meet the Maggots. And I have an idea of like... Wait, where are you guys going? Who are you? What are you doing? What are you doing? Take me with you. Damn it. Okay. I have this idea to talk about, kind of like we kind of did on Friday about Lynn Wood. Wait, what? What's up with Republican Congresswoman? Well, is that Anna Paulina Luna? She always parades around in a bathing suit. She does that all the time. That's what she started off as a model, I think. MAGA Corpus. MAGA Corpus in a bikini. Damn it. Isn't Santos? Oh, yeah, he's pleading guilty today. That's right. How'd my daughter get her nickname? I don't know. I just thought about it. You know, I don't really have a story for that. Another Explorer. Oh, is Santos an Explore talent? I don't think he is. I think he's a Russian investment. I think he's a Northeast Russian investment, if you will. That's what I think he is. I don't think he's an Explore talent. Because to me, Explore talent means it's Roger Stone. And I'm just not sure. Have we seen connections between George Santos and Roger Stone? I haven't seen those. So I feel like that's a different mafia. Yeah, even Santos's guilty plea will be fraudulent. I know. He was on a space like a week ago or so, and he's just so stupid. And you know what really well, of course, the thing about Twitter is a lot of stupid people are amplified. But he gets on those spaces, and everyone in the spaces treats him like he's an actual like voice that can comment on something. You know, like, what? I want to see the MAGA chief in a Speedo sans enhancements and orange spray paint. No, you don't. No, you don't, Paul Langan. No, you don't. You don't want to see that. You think you do, but you do not. Mm-mm. She's the female equivalent of George Santos. Her real last name isn't Luna, it's Meyerhofer. Yes, right. Well, yeah, she's now she, I think, is an Explore talent person. I think she is. Bobo was a baby Lolo nickname. No, I just made it up. It's completely unrelated to her real name, so it was it was by design in that regard, but I don't know. So yeah, it was just pretty much a nonsense. It made sense though. Now it really makes sense. Now she's basically Bobo. But yeah. Let's see. What was I can't remember what I was saying. I want to see the MAGA chief as Speedo. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if I don't think Santos was part of the Explore talent genre. Scott Pressler's sure getting around. Boy, I'll tell you. That guy, he is such a on-the-ground piece of shit. He is going around, and his big thing is getting people registered to vote. Yes, George Santos and the Krasenstein, Paul, that's it. Paul Langan, you are correct. That is what I'm referring to. It was the recent Krasenstein space that was about, I don't even remember what it was about, but I think George Santos was there, and he was saying something. And they just all fawned over him like he actually has something serious to share with people, you know? And I'm like, this is why we can't have nice things. Because people continue to give idiots like this any kind of quarter. And I know the Krasensteins are also idiots, but they follow me, but I didn't follow them back. That's my big boss move. I know. I'm not very famous on anything, so I'm small. I'm tiny. I'm insignificant. I'm not shiny, bright and new, or sultry, or alluring, or any of those things. George has notoriety on spaces he never had in Congress. That's a really good point, Paul Langan. He was really built for kind of social media and kind of TMZ. You know, he reminds me of like the people on like, Fashion Police or something like that. Like, I feel like he's so shallow though. Like that's where I'm like, it's time to not engage with people who are shallow and then get all the attention, and people give them attention only because of the spectacle and not because of the substance. And I'm just really fucking sick of it. frankly. Blocked the Krasensteins long ago. I know. I just want to go to their spaces sometimes, but because I want to listen to the idiots talk. And the thing about it is it's only going to get worse on Twitter, my friends, between now, certainly, and whenever. I don't know. It's just going to get worse on Twitter. Let's just put it that way. It's going to get worse on Twitter, and we're just going to have to deal with it. I was talking, actually, Bobo and I were talking about that last night, and it's like, what are some of the things that are getting, under her skin or around politics and stuff? Because we were just talking specifically around politics, and it's interesting time because what we were discussing was the fact that when I was growing up, it was post Vietnam, kind of nuclear, anti-nuclear. It was, anti-Cold War, kind of like, peace kind of thing. It was farm workers' rights. Those were some of the movements that shaped me as a kid. And really, in her generation, right now, what is very top of mind is, the end of genocide and the end of, apartheid in Gaza. And so that is very important to them. And we were talking about how any movement can be infiltrated, at varying degrees. And it is frustrating to her that the focus is on the infiltration and not on the genuineness of some of the, you know what I mean? So it was a very good conversation to have, coming at it from two different perspectives of, what was top of mind or what your experience was. And I felt like my experience was less clouded by infiltration in movements, although that could be my own, naivete and lack of knowledge. But the sense is that there was less of that as an emphasis, and now the story. So there was no resolution to a conversation, but it was a really good conversation about what we're seeing now and how we're each experiencing it, and based on what, So I don't know. It was good. I love those conversations. They always, like, I always walk away learning something that I didn't really either fully understand or something I didn't know or something like that. And so I love that. I think that's a great place to be, to talk about that stuff with your kids, if you can, or anyone of your family or friends. It's good to expand, learn what's happening for Gen Z, especially. But yeah, I just think it's going to get more and more challenging and hard to handle the daily news kind of thing, the cycle. And for me, there feels like a lot more pressure and instigation in our, especially social media, if not media alone. And then I also remind myself that I'm at the deeper end of the pool, where I'm in a lot of different social media and not so much in the mainstream, or living more of a, normal working everyday life. So there's a difference, right? I'm exposed to different things. So my sense of the world can be very different too. And I can have a larger sense of dread. Although I will say my siblings have a similar sense of dread that I do. And they're not like on Twitter, or any kind of like, social media. So I feel like there's a pretty shared sense of dread. But I think typically I can have a greater sense of dread because of the stuff that I'm watching. And I have to understand what you know what I mean? It's like what what's tipping the scale for my kind of worldview, or not worldview, but assessment of how fucked we are. And I don't think we're all that fucked. I think it's going to take some real bold moves on the part of the Biden administration post-election. They're going to have to make some bold fucking moves to figure out how we're going to survive a SCOTUS that is so heavily MAGA'd. So I'm keeping an eye on that. And then also I was thinking about, in real life, IRL streaming and what I wanted to do. I'm sorry, my necklace is like tied together and it's driving me insane. So I'm doing some ASMR for you where I'm getting my necklaces untangled. Oh my God, I forgot what I was saying. They had a crypto for Harris space. Oh my God. Weirdos. Weirdos, as Tim would say, Tim Walls. Oh, darn it. I forgot what I was saying. Maddow piece in New York Times about election challenges. Oh, really? Ooh, hold on. Wait, let me go over here. Oop. Oh, here we go. The press briefing is on. Hold on. Ah. Is that actor?
Joe Biden and Kamala Harris came into office,
they
inherited
senator.
one of the worst possible situations: public health, economics, democracy. Joe Biden made it clear that he was running for president to restore the soul of our nation. And tonight, 4 years later, it's worth our taking a few minutes to reflect on just how much progress Joe Biden and Kamala Harris made. As someone who spent 36 years in the United States Senate, Joe Biden understood how to build coalitions, how to work across the aisle, how to deliver for the American people. And he and his trusted Vice President, Kamala Harris, got passed, and he signed into law more consequential legislation than any president in my lifetime.
Oh,
I could take 10, maybe 20,
that makes
maybe
sense.
30 minutes and go over the whole list. But rebuilding bridges and broadband, restoring manufacturing, showing our competitors around the world that our democracy can work, passing the most consequential legislation about gun violence, about community mental health, about investing in our veterans, and in reducing prescription drug prices. Just this past week, there was a great event where Joe and Kamala announced the specific reductions. I don't know if you watch the evening news, I do. Xarelto, Eliquis, Jardiance, ever heard of these things? There's ads for them constantly, $500 a month to $200 a month. It's gonna save $6 billion for the American taxpayers. It's gonna save $1.5 billion out of pocket for seniors. $35 a month for insulin, which diabetics like members of my family rely on critically and have cost out the wazoo for decades. $2,000 a year out-of-pocket cap. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have fought tirelessly for the American middle class to reduce costs. And his trusted Vice President, Kamala Harris, is the right person to carry forward that fight. And this week is about celebrating what it means to be for the people. Vice President Harris has chosen in Tim Walz a running mate who has a coach, a congressman, a sergeant, a veteran, a governor, has a record of fighting for the middle class. And I'm excited that we're kicking off our campaign by celebrating
but she might be too drunk to vote.
Done at home and abroad.
I just don't think a lot of them go vote.
In Ukraine, not just strengthening, but expanding NATO, rebuilding incredible
but it's the election challenges
throughout the Indo-Pacific and with the global South to make us safer and stronger. He's got a longer record of accomplishment than we could possibly celebrate tonight. But I'm grateful to play some small part in doing that.
God, I'm just like losing my mind today.
Contrast couldn't be sharper.
I'm just going to smoke some more
Donald
weed.
Trump as president talked about rebuilding our infrastructure. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris actually got it done. Joe Biden talked about restoring manufacturing and got it done, where Donald Trump just talked. Reducing prescription drug prices and strengthening and defending our nation's access to affordable health care.
I think it is.
Donald Trump said he would get it done.
It's your butthole.
Joe Biden, Kamala Harris did it. It's an incredible record given how tight the margins were. On our best days, we had 50 folks in our caucus willing to vote for Joe Biden's agenda in the Senate. I think it was a 5-seat margin in the House. And as someone who led the Office of Public Engagement, former chairman of the Congressional Black Caucus, and the best congressional pitcher in our history,
Only the best
I'm going to hand it
love for
over
butthole
to
surfers.
Congressman Cedric
We don't have
Richmond to
pharmaceutical
further
ads on
expound
TV in
how
Australia,
we've
probably
got a
because
lot to
they're heavily
celebrate tonight,
subsidized or free.
and we've laid a great
God, man,
foundation
we
for
gotta
not
get
just a
there.
successful convention, but for a campaign that is going to move
We have to
Kamala
defeat
Harris
the-
and Tim
the
Walz forward
oligarchy.
as our next president, vice president. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. I'm actually trying to stay on script, but like the Senator said, there's so much we could talk about. There's so many accomplishments we could talk about in the Biden-Harris administration. But today, I want to focus on why we're here, and that's for this convention. And that is to highlight the contrast between the Harris-Walz agenda and the Donald Trump agenda. One agenda is about the people, one agenda is about one person. And so tonight, you will also hear from the 46th President of the United States, Joe Biden, who accomplished more in 4 years than most presidents do in a full term. Like he has through his entire 50-plus year service to this country as a public servant, every step of the way during his presidency, President Biden put the people first, and Vice President Harris. It was never about politics. It was never about profit. It was never about party. It was always about the people. How do we wake up every day and make the people's lives better? And I think that that is the common thread that ran throughout the White House, ran throughout the Senate, ran throughout the House. And that's the key. And so if there's any stark difference we take away today, it is that everything we do is for the people. And you will hear that common thread consistently through the night. You'll also hear the president tonight talk about the successes of the Biden-Harris administration. And I think it's important for him to answer those age-old questions of, what have you done for me lately? Why bother to actually go out and vote? And so he has to remind people of the successes that the Biden-Harris agenda had. The fact that so many people came out in historic numbers the last election and put them in the office. But what did they get for it? And that's what you'll hear tonight. And he'll go down the list. And I think you will see a very proud president that throughout his entire career has always made sure that he was thinking about the people. And we're excited about that. The last thing I'll say about the president and what he'll say tonight and what he will show tonight is one of my favorite quotes about politics. Politicians worry about the next election. Statesmen worry about the next generation. And it was a statesman who came off the sideline 4 years ago to beat the worst president in the history of the United States, a person who posed the biggest threat to the United States. And there's a statesman who passed and who will pass the baton on to Vice President Kamala Harris to continue to put this country first. And so here in Chicago, we're united. We're ready to answer the divisive, backwards vision of Donald Trump with a positive, joyful vision for the future. Now, Vice President Harris and Tim Walz stands ready to carry the torch forward as we look toward the future and fight against those who would divide us and drag us into the past. This is about tomorrow. This is about making sure that tomorrow is better than yesterday and that all the tomorrows to come are better than the yesterdays that we've had. And so if you look at where we were 4 years ago, and the senator touched on it, 54% of schools closed, businesses shuttered, people dying. You couldn't even go to funerals. You couldn't celebrate the lives of your loved ones. You couldn't visit them in the hospital to say goodbye. That's what the country was 4 years ago, before we had a president.
I didn't get out this weekend, and I'm sad about it. I think it was really warm.
those wrongs.
I did walk the
But under
dog, but I didn't
President
like.
Biden,
I should have spent more time outside this weekend.
let's go back.
I'm gonna try.
to Trump.
I don't
I'm
know
gonna
when I'm
spend
gonna
just
do it,
Another
but
second on what
I
we
actually
inherited.
also need to go to the gym
Crime and unemployment
because
were
I
up.
have this gym membership, so I better
Trump
do it.
cut taxes for
I
billionaires.
I have to
and
get in
corporations,
shape. I gotta work on
made
myself.
Those in the middle class and those
I'll
aspiring
feel
to
better
be in
if
the
I
middle
work
class
on myself.
pay for it. We saw an insurrection at the Capitol, led and encouraged by that same unhinged former president. And I want you all to remember, Senator and I, we were in the building. It wasn't peaceful protest.
That's so cute,
It was an
easily.
insurrection.
I
And
think
if you have
that's
any
so
doubts
cute.
of how it started,
Go at the same time every day.
go
That's a
to
good
the
idea.
debate when President Trump said to
I'm
the Proud
thinking of
Boys,
trying to hit a time
"Stand
when it
by,
would be between
stand back
streams,
and stand by."
and I have a
Then he
schedule.
summoned
I built
them
a schedule.
to D.C. on January 6th. Then spoke that morning
So,
and
then I
said,
was gonna. I have
"We're
little
gonna go
weights,
to
so I
the
was gonna bring
Capitol,
weights in here actually,
and
and
you
I
need
could
to
do
stop the
weights while we're
steal,"
watching
which cost
trials.
us the lives of law enforcement agents.
Guns out, sun's
and
out,
made us
guns
the
out.
mockery of the world that we no longer
I can
had
lift tiny weights
peaceful
with my
transition
tiny
of
hands.
power.
But going out on your schedule
And now
to
he
the gym,
wants
it's a good idea.
us to hand him back
Butterflies.
the reins of this
That's
nation
what I'll do.
as he runs on a Project
That's what I'll
2025
do.
agenda to ban abortion nationwide.
I have a lot of things I need to like chores. Like I need to get like I gotta. There's my car desperately needs some work on it.
But the American people
Like,
know
there's
better.
stuff I need to take care
They
of
elected President Biden and sent
that I have not taken
Donald
care
Trump
of yet.
packing in 2020, and they will reject him again in 2024, and they will send Vice President Kamala Harris and Tim Walz to the White House.
I'm ready.
American
I'm
people
ready,
want a leader who
Max.
will
I'm
bring
ready
us
for that.
forward,
Hey, Grace, how are
not back.
you?
Who will lead us
That's a
into
good
the future instead
idea.
of
That's smart.
Trafficking in the politics of division.
That
America
is super smart.
is ready for President Harris and Vice President Walz.
Yeah.
Joe Biden showed
Give
this
me
country what
coffee.
real
You
leadership
could get one of
looks
those
like.
cycle thingies
It's
that you
about
put
getting
under your
things done for the
table.
American people. Results.
I could do the
Doing
prancing
right
video.
thing simply
Am I
because
stuck?
It's the right thing.
Oh no,
And
am
now
I
Kamala
stuck?
Harris and Tim Walz have united our party around their vision to lead us into the future,
Hold on.
into a bright future. I know Vice President Harris. I know when Joe Biden was choosing her to be his running mate. I've been by her side as she fought for the American people from the White House. I've had the honor of seeing her work up close. And what I've seen from her isn't just a candidate who's prepared to lead, but a candidate who's prepared to win. With Kamala Harris leading the ticket and Governor
Yeah.
Walz as her
I
running
know.
mate,
Brakes
they
and
will
new
do
state
just that.
tags.
They
Oh,
will win this
just went through a
election,
day like you
but more
described.
importantly, they will
I
bring
know.
this
I've got to
country
get
together
my
and bring
tire.
us
One of my
towards
tires is
better
flat,
days. With that, I will turn it
and I'm scared to go
over
down there and look
we'll
at it.
Have a little Q&A.
We do have a surprise, so we're going to...
So I got that. I know I need new brakes. I still have a boo-boo on the front of my car that I haven't gotten fixed. I'm
one and
probably
only.
okay with an oil change, but I think I probably could get another one.
And I will say, I apologize for the delay. I think
No,
we're
I'm
all
in a
going
mess.
in
I'm a little bit
different
of a mess right
directions.
now. I'm not gonna lie.
Mr. Kuhn for being here. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay,
Mr.
you need to
Cedric.
pull the
I was
microphone
listening
down to your
Cedric behind the
yes,
stage,
brakes and good
I said
tires.
I was going to start off by saying I want to say everything that Cedric said.
It's all about.
Because he
It's
said
been a
it
little
all,
rough
and I
time.
tell
That's
you,
all. It's fine. It'll be
I can't
fine.
think
It
of
will
a
become
better
fine.
partner to have had
But
in
it's
this,
a
in
little,
this journey than
little,
Cedric. So thank you so much for all you're doing.
little.
Alex, of course.
It's the low
I'm sure
end of the
everybody
bell
has heard
curve
from
right
him
now.
This morning, but he has been the executive director, and we have pioneered this journey in many ways. I mean, we started out, as you know, with
Carla
President
for the
Biden,
win.
who
Good
we all
morning.
love, we all adore. We
Tim
look
Walz
forward to seeing
tuned up
him
my car
tonight.
this weekend.
We are going to celebrate him, celebrate all the accomplishments that he has given us. So we thank you for being here to even just report on that. I am here to just welcome you to the convention, welcome you to all that we're going to be doing this week. It's going to be exciting. It is going to be, some of the kinks are still being worked out, so we hope that you will give us grace and patience, but we know that this is a good time for America.
Oh, I hope that
And as
turns out,
Cedric
Max.
has
That's
already
tough.
said, the contrast
tough.
between the Democrats
Do
and
not
the
hit the big
Republicans will be
corporate
very
auto
stark.
repair, rather
And
the
you
word
will
of
hear
mouth,
from
well
some
reviewed.
incredible
You know, I
speakers this
think
week.
I know
They
a
will
guy that
tell
works at a
you their
collision
stories, but
shop.
they're also going to tell you
Well,
the
I love
story
my
of the
collision
haul
guy
of
because
the-
he's fixed
of
my
the
car
Harris Walls
a couple times.
new ticket. And they're going
And
to be
he's really good,
dynamic.
and he
They're gonna
always
talk
does
about
right
the
by
future,
me
but they're also gonna
price-wise.
build on
And
what the
and
Biden-Harris
does a beautiful job.
administration has already accomplished.
Um,
I look forward
our
to
cars are
the
twins.
week.
I know, right?
I mean, I look forward
And
to. I even look forward to hearing
but
all
then
the
there's
spectacular
I have a
speakers
neighbor
tonight.
who
You'll hear
also
from
works at a
Secretary
collision
Clinton. As
part.
you
So
know,
I'm
she was
trying to find a
pioneer for
neighbor that
Senator
works on
for
cars.
Senator Harris, now Vice President
Well,
Harris,
my
now the
body shop
nominee.
guy is in
And
Burbank,
so
and
she
he's
broke a lot of
Armenian.
glass,
Yes,
and
so
we stand
yes,
on
but I
her
don't think all
shoulders,
of them
and
are.
she
No,
will
the guy
bring
who
us
lives next to
her
me is an
vision
Armenian,
of
and
what
he
it means
works
to
in a
run
collision shop.
as a nominee, and
So,
she will certainly
not all.
embrace the vision of the Biden
But there's a lot of Armenians, I
with
think,
that,
over
I
in the
will
Burbank
stop. Oh,
area,
Quentin,
perhaps.
welcome. We
But
sent
yeah,
all
he's
our
wonderful.
friends. They have
I love
arrived,
him
and we're
most.
happy to see you all.
Most. No,
With
quite a
that, I know
lot.
you
Yeah,
can-
quite a lot of them are. But yeah, I love my guy. He's so sweet. He's very kind, and he thinks I'm cute. So that's a bonus.
Thank you. Good morning. Any of you, perhaps Mignon, could you please just let me do this quick? I would like you, if you could, expand.
God,
on
these guys are very
preview a
bad with the
little more of
microphones.
What Hillary Rodham Clinton will say at this historic moment.
God damn it.
Where we may be electing the first female president. That hasn't been discussed much, but this was something that was so much a part of the Clinton
So low.
campaign. Perhaps Senator Kuhn, and I know we had a lot, just tell us on how Biden is reflecting on his mood at this point in history, what led to him. Don't mean to rehash anything,
Gran
but there's a lot going
Torino.
on. If you could sum it up. And then, is it really right that he's speaking
could not
at 10
open
o'clock?
doors.
And if so, isn't that a little bit past prime time? Thank you.
I know. Believe me, when I find him,
Well, as you know,
or
in
her, when I
2016,
find that
Secretary
person,
Clinton, won the popular vote.
I will
She ran an incredible
grab them
race,
and hold them tight.
and she
Never
shattered
let
a
them
lot of
go.
glass for many people. And I would even go back further than even Secretary Clinton. I would start with Fannie Lou Hamer.
Oh, that's good. United
who was
Healthcare has
denied
been
a
great
seat
for my mom. When
at a
she had
Democratic convention.
NPH,
So
she
you
never paid
propelled
one
that
penny for the
forward,
surgery.
and
The
you look
doctors.
at
Oh,
Hillary Rodham
wow.
Clinton, she has paved the way. And
Is
I wanna
Hillary? Is this
also
the
level
question?
set.
Is Hillary
She has been
jealous?
an
That's
incredible
ridiculous.
partner to Vice President
well.
Harris. They have a
All
great
right, we're on the
friendship.
road.
You know,
Okay,
they're on
Lee.
speed dial with
Bon,
each other.
bon
And I
travels.
suspect- I have
Safe
not read her
travels.
speech, so I should say that
In
for
my
the
area,
record.
one
But
company
I do
controls
know
all the
that
health
she
insurance. Fuck,
probably
man.
will talk a lot about what it means at
I'm
this
telling you right
moment
now,
to
we
have
gotta.
a-
We
the
do
first-
need a
the
little bit of
second
a
female
revolution
and
in
a
the
female of
corporate
color running. But what our responsibility
treatment
is to that too,
and the
as well,
subsidies.
because it's not easy.
I
And
know
say
Hillary
this
will
all
be
the
there. I'm
time.
sure Hillary's
We're
fine
trying
with
to
all
change
this.
and shift the mindset of people to see
She
a
seems like a
woman as
no regrets kind of
commander-in-chief.
girl to me.
And
I don't
Hillary
know.
Clinton has served
Call me
as
crazy.
Secretary of State. She has served as our first nominee. So she has a
My
world
goodness.
view of this. And I believe that, I don't know why I want to keep calling her Senator Harris, because she is so many things. But Vice President Harris also has a world view of what that means. And I think you will see that coming together this week.
I'll just say briefly, the last few times I've had a chance to be with him, to speak with him, President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden are optimistic. They're focused
Well,
on the
that's
future.
good to hear. Give me
on
coffee.
things that matter
UHC has
greatly
been
to the
amazing
American
coverage
people
for
that they're
your
determined to
mother-in-law
get
as
done,
well.
in the remaining 5
Max,
months.
do you reside
The
somewhere
Cancer
near
Moonshot,
tobacco?
there was just a
I don't
wonderful
think
event
so.
at Tulane that Cedric was
They
at
are
with
boring.
them.
I know, right?
I
Boring.
had a chance to be with the president in Austin as he was talking
I was
about
thinking the
60th
Chicago
anniversary of the
station
Voting
would
Rights
go
Act.
to something. This
He
is their
made some
live
bold
coverage.
proposals
Sorry,
about
there's no
court reform.
captions.
There's work to do abroad and at home. He's not just the leader of the free world, he's actually leading the free world. There's a war in Ukraine and a determination on his part and many of us to make sure that Ukraine gets the resources to win this fight. So whether it's the celebratory and positive event he just did with the vice president about prescription drug price reduction,
You know,
or it's campaigning. No one loves to
my
campaign like
grandma
Joe Biden.
lived in Chicago,
see him
so
campaigning
I
with
spent
some
some
joy
time
and
there,
some
but
lift
not
in
much.
Pennsylvania
I
and
love
around the country,
Chicago. I
and
always thought it was
focusing
so
on the job
fun.
that's yet to be done, both
Great
for the remaining 5
restaurants.
months
I
and
don't know. I
going
just
forward.
remember having a really good time being in Chicago. Okay. Oh, United been good for your girlfriend, Paul J says. All right. Oh, Pritzker. Oh, that's from earlier. Okay, they're sending a final schedule out today. It was about the schedule. Okay, we got to speak up, folks. Can you name yourself an outlet? Can we just please speak up?
Hello, my name is Igor Nemushin. I'm a correspondent from RIA News Agency DC Bureau. So I wonder if there are any talks or what is the part of the agenda that will be dedicated to war in Ukraine and to fighting with Russia during this DNC. And if yes, then when should we expect such kind of conversations? Thank you.
You will see on the program woven through the entire 4 days. Obviously, the president will probably cover a lot of that tonight in his speech. I'm sure the vice president will cover it in her speech. We have on Thursday, I believe, or it's Wednesday or Thursday, we have a full foreign policy section, and you will hear
I
a
also
lot about
find the
Ukraine,
information that I have to go through very
all the things that
confusing.
we
And I
are
feel like
working
I used to
towards
understand it.
finding solutions. Gaza will be a part of those conversations as well. Mm-hmm.
All right, Brittany Shepard, ABC.
Oh, like very Wendy Williams of you. Thank you very much for doing this, guys. I want to dig in a little bit more to the preview of Biden's speech. I know we're going to hear a lot about the Biden record, but I want to know can you detail a little bit more about how he plans to pass the torch, more fulsomely endorse Harris? Like, what will that part of the speech
More fulsomely?
really sound like?
What is this? Who are you?
Well,
And what the Wendy
I won't
Williams
give away the
reference?
speech. The president and I, we may look alike, but I can't go that far. What I will tell you is that I think what he's going to say, in part, is that he picked Kamala Harris to be his running mate because she was brilliant, because she had experience as a prosecutor, experience as an attorney general. She was an effective and forceful U.S. senator. So when he picked her to be a real governing partner. And then through the years, she was that governing partner. She cast, like the senator said, so many tie-breaking votes, but she was also a person who held the Senate together in terms of that small minority, small majority, so that they could get historic things done. And so I think he's going to make sure that people understand he picked her because she was great, she was a great partner, and that she's going to be a great next president of the United States.
We'll take one final question.
One final question. Oh.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for doing that. When will we have the schedule just for broadcasting purposes for the Biden speech? And then also, will we see the vice president in the hall listening to the president's speech and then on stage as well after?
No, I think I was going to say the same thing that that Kevin did, which is that I think we have a slightly more detailed schedule coming out shortly after this, but there are also some elements that will be released day by day for your planning purposes. I think the team right behind you can fill you in on that after we wrap up here. Thanks.
We are going to get as many excerpts every single day as we can. Goodbye, everybody.
Okay. Goodbye, everybody. All right.
Bye, guys.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Thank you. This is Chicago. They're not doing much. Okay. Scooby-Doo. I like making up words. It's Chicago. Here we are. We're your news team. Yeah. We're your news team. Yeah. I was trying to see if we could find any. Oh, here we go.
Protesters and politicians both gearing up for a really busy week ahead. Thank you so much for joining us here on the stream. I'm Audrina Sinclair.
And I'm Dana Kozlov. We're joining you all week live from inside the United Center, and happening right now. In fact, the Coalition to March on the DNC is sharing more details about their plans to protest. This is a live look at the press conference happening now. The coalition is made up of 270 organizations. Their first rally will be at noon today. Our Darius Johnson has been reporting from Union Park all morning.
And he's got more on their message and also what other protests we will likely see this week.
We're waiting for that 10 o'clock press conference to start at any moment now, but here at Union Park there are blockades and there are barriers set up right here on the perimeter of the park, preventing any cars from making their way in as these protesters really start to get things underway. Many of them started to arrive as early as 6 o'clock this morning to be able to get things set up. Go ahead and take a look. Those arriving are part of the coalition to march on the DNC. It is comprised of 270 organizations that stand with Palestine while calling for the U.S. to end its aid to Israel. Members of this group are also fighting for the rights and liberation of the oppressed. Here at Union Park, they are preparing to make their voices heard loud and clear with an amplified speaker system and a stage. Now, it took some time to get to this point after weeks of fighting with the city for permits. At first, the city would not allow this group to set up in the park, but later, the city stopped playing hardball after the group filed an injunction. They essentially got everything that they wanted except tents, canopies, and a longer route to march. Now, another rally that is set to take place at 4 o'clock will be held by the Poor People's Army. This is a national group of self-organized poor and homeless people. Their goal is to bring awareness to the epidemic of homelessness and poverty. That group is set to hold a 1 p.m. press conference at Humboldt Park ahead of that rally later this afternoon. Of course, we will be here throughout the day, and we will bring you all of the coverage here from Union Park and the other rallies that are scheduled to take place. I'm Darius
that should be
Johnson
really
for
helpful.
CBS News Chicago.
Darius, thank you so much. And this is a map of the city-approved route. Protest organizers have
I don't
said
see a
this one's just
WGN
too
live
winding
feed
and
at the
it's too narrow
moment.
for the estimated crowd of up to 25,000
From
people.
this, I
the
don't
city
have a
refused the calls to
broadcast
change
TV.
it, so we'll be watching today to see how this demonstration goes.
And we are already seeing security tighten across the city. Tall barricade fences and checkpoints popped up along the Mag Mile this weekend. If you work or live in that area, be prepared to show identification to gain access to certain buildings. You should also expect street closures on North Wabash from Chestnut to Delaware
okay, cool.
and East Huron from Michigan to Rush.
And while protesters rally
Nothing at the
outside
DNC meeting. I haven't seen the groups gather yet, but
Let's go now to
we're
Mugo
looking.
Digwe. She is just outside the UC and has a look at today's agenda. Mugo.
Yeah, good morning to you, Dana and Audrina. So we know that more than 4,000 delegates will be in Chicago throughout the week for this convention, but clearly a lot of the attention today will be focused on the speakers who take the stage later tonight. And we're talking some big names who will be on that list. Take
So
a
you
look
have to
at
help
your
each
screen.
other,
We know
Paul J.
President
That's
Joe
the thing.
Biden will speak. So will his wife, First Lady Dr. Jill Biden, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, and Mayor Brandon Johnson. They will speak.
There you
to
go.
Johnson will actually
Little
deliver a
Hillary
welcome
action
message.
tonight.
So all of them taking the stage tonight on day one of the Democratic National Convention. As for today's theme, it is called For the People.
Oh, I
It's
like
something
Pritzker.
organizers say
Pritzker's a good
President Joe
speaker.
Biden has exemplified throughout his presidency and will be on display during the convention this week. Tonight,
I believe
many
so,
of the speeches
Badger.
will be a
I believe
tribute
so.
to the president's long career in politics, and they'll highlight his recent accomplishments, including leading the country through COVID-19 and the passage of major infrastructure and climate bills. Biden will do sort of a symbolic passing of the torch to VP Kamala Harris, who is now poised to continue his fight.
And Vice President Kamala Harris and Governor Walz, they understand the plight of those who make this country what it is, and that's working people.
Now, also happening at the convention today, we're told Reverend Jesse Jackson will be recognized for his fight for civil rights and leading the way for younger generations to follow. He is expected to take the stage with his son, Congressman Jonathan Jackson. There are also several caucuses and also council meetings that are happening today. Those include the Black Caucus and the Hispanic Caucus. So as you
They're
all said all morning, Dana and
expensive.
Audrina,
Oh my
a lot
gosh,
happening
yeah.
throughout the week, and a lot happening today as well as the convention kicks off. We're live outside the United Center. Mugo Digwe, CBS News Chicago.
All right, Mugo, thank you so much.
And earlier this morning, Governor Pritzker addressed Illinois delegates as they had breakfast in the Loop. While touting his achievements over the past 6 years, the governor highlighted his unusual background for a Democratic governor.
You all remember
As a
that
billionaire?
back in 2018, our party was not exactly begging for me to run for governor. No one was crying out for a white, Ukrainian-American, Jewish billionaire.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. But I'm a Democrat. And
He is a billionaire. I
And I'm a
like him,
Democrat
though. I
because
do like
when my
him.
family arrived in Chicago from Ukraine, where they were refugees,
I think his
they
heart's
would have
in the
been
right
killed
place.
by Russians had they not made it here. A social service agency gave them a place to live. The state gave them a free public education. Yeah, public education.
Good for him.
Interesting. Well, Pritzker said the Harris-Walz ticket represents an opportunity to make real progress for working families.
I know. It might be possible. I don't know.
Trump Tower in Chicago,
I feel like he's tried. I don't know.
Someone used
I
a
knew him
projector
from
to
the
shine this really big message across the building, calling the Trump Vance ticket
Weird as hell.
There was a supported message for the Democratic ticket, calling VP Harris and Governor Walz joy and hope. And later this morning at Trump Tower, allies of former President Trump plan to hold a press conference of their own. The Florida Senator Rick Scott and
what time is
Wisconsin
that?
Senator Ron Johnson plan to talk about what they call disastrous economic policies of the Biden-Harris administration. They also plan to discuss why they believe the country was better under a Trump administration. And today, former President Trump will host a campaign event in York, Pennsylvania. His running mate, J.D. Vance, is set to speak with voters in Philadelphia.
Remember, all this week, CBS News Chicago is your convention headquarters, so stay with us for continuing coverage. Along with our on-air coverage, we'll also be live on our stream, as you know right now, CBS News Chicago with
I have a feeling
everything
I heard a little
DNC
dog.
all week long at 8 p.m.
Okay.
Thanks again, everyone. I'm Dana Kozlov.
Oh, okay. All right. So they're doing their thing. All right. I want to see when that thing is. Pritzker's family. I know they are. I know him from the foundation. They're very generous in their foundation giving, and he wasn't necessarily part of that. But I just recall people who know him because I was, whatever. It doesn't matter. Anyway. So my impression is that they were a very good foundation, family foundation, as well as he was a decent human being. So, J.D. Vance attendees, there's dozens of us. Where's my plane? Where's my plane? Let's go see my plane. What a baby. God, what a man child he is. How unattractive. Where's my plane? Who does that? Who does that? Except for fake ass people. I don't know. I really can't. I can't tell if my dog's barking or not. Hold on. Yeah, the unfuckables. Oh, he is. Okay. All right. I got to walk the dog. So I'm actually going to turn the sound on just in case. But we'll keep it kind of on the lower side since it's music. And then I will be back as soon as I can. Okie dokie? All right. Enjoy Chicago local news. BRB.
This is CBS News Chicago.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dana Kozlov.
And I'm Audrina Sinclair. Really good to be with you. Thank you so much for joining us here at 9. We are live, as you can see, from the United Center covering the Democratic National Convention starting today.
That's right, in just a few hours.
Yeah, so much to get to. And right now, some events are already underway. You're looking live as delegates gather for the morning. I'm Maris Perlman keeping track of how day one is getting started for these Illinois delegates.
And Vice President Kamala Harris, now in town for the DNC, will break break down the agenda for day one, including who is taking the stage today.
And thousands expected to protest outside the DNC starting today in just a matter of hours. The major rally is set to start soon. So, as you just heard, we have lots to get to, but we will start with Marissa Perlman as the delegates start their day.
She is live at the Royal Sonesta Hotel downtown on Wacker, where most of the Illinois delegation is staying. Good morning, Marissa.
Good morning to both of you. Good to be with you. Yeah, this is it. The official business for the DNC has begun. All of the delegates are meeting at hotels across the city of Chicago right now, breaking bread and really talking strategy. We are here alongside the Illinois delegation. We are talking about 178 different people, 12 alternates, all here at the Sonesta downtown. Now, each day, their day will begin with this, with passionate, motivating speeches from their own party. We have heard from Governor J.B. Pritzker and Minnesota Governor and potential VP nominee Tim Walz's wife, Gwen Walz, just a moment ago. Right now, Jackie Gomez is speaking. We just heard from Senator Tammy Duckworth. We expect to hear from Senator Cory Booker here in just a few minutes. But this is it. More than 5,000 delegates are here in the city of Chicago at 8 different downtown hotels, all within a 5-mile radius between McCormick Place and the United Center. They will now call Chicago home for the next 4 days. But this party is in a much different headspace than it was just a mere 4 weeks ago. A brand new ticket and now a tight timeline.
If we fight hard enough, in 78 days, we will defeat Donald Trump and make real progress for working families across America. So I know it's early in the morning, but I got to ask you, are you ready for the fight? Yes! Illinois Democrats, are you ready for the fight?
I am really excited and proud to be part of Team Harris-Walz. I can't think of a better team than Kamala and Tim. They have both spent their careers fighting for middle-class families.
Again, Gwen Walz speaking there just moments ago here at the Royal Sonesta. Now, for nearly 700 delegates, this will be their first Democratic National Convention altogether. The Illinois delegation includes local mayors like Brandon Johnson and Highland Park Mayor Nancy Rotering, big-name politicians like Reverend Jesse Jackson, other faith leaders. The youngest member of the delegation, a 19-year-old recent Glenbrook North High School graduate from Northbrook. Now, let's send it over now to our Asal Razai. She is about to hear from Mayor Brandon Johnson. She's at the Michigan delegation breakfast. That's at the Hilton, Chicago. Asal, we'll send it back over to you.
Yeah, Marissa, thank you. Delegates from Michigan, as you mentioned, here at the Hilton Hotel on South Michigan Avenue. And we actually just heard from Mayor Brandon Johnson here moments ago as he's joined by Democratic leaders from across the country. As you mentioned, so many of them here in the city this morning. Mayor Brandon Johnson began with welcoming Democratic delegates here and said in their time here, they'll get to meet with people in their party who know what it means to invest in working people. He mentioned how important of a role Michigan and the rest of the Midwest plays in not just this election, but also in the economy. Take a listen to some of what he said.
Let's make history by electing 2 champions as president and vice president to stand up for the interests of working people. We're going to win Michigan. We're going to win Illinois. We're going to win Wisconsin. We're going to win Minnesota. We're going to make sure we win the White House.
Mayor Brandon Johnson, very energetic, very passionate, as you heard there this morning, shaking hands with other city leaders, one of his many stops as the DNC kicks off. We know he is set to speak at the United Center later today. For now, I'm live at the Hilton Hotel. Asal Razai, I'll send it back to you guys.
All right, Asal, thank you. Some big names on the list for night one of the DNC. Here they are on your screen. President Joe Biden, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, and Mayor Brandon Johnson will all take the stage at the United Center tonight. Today's theme is called For the People. It's something organizers say President Joe Biden has exemplified throughout his presidency. Tonight, many of the speeches will be a tribute to the president's long career in politics. He'll be doing a symbolic passing of the torch to VP VP Kamala Harris. Our Mugo Odigwe has much more on what to expect tonight, coming up at 9:30.
And Vice President Kamala Harris getting a warm welcome to Chicago. Here's video of her stepping off Air Force Two at O'Hare with her husband, Second Gentleman Doug Emhoff. There were many members of the Illinois Democratic delegation to greet her on the tarmac. Harris's motorcade was later spotted heading down to Michigan Avenue with a lot of barriers there along the Mag Mile. And before Vice President Kamala Harris arrived in Chicago, she and her running mate, Governor Tim Walz, rolled through battleground Pennsylvania on a bus tour. This is where former President Donald Trump continues to campaign today while the DNC starts. A new CBS News poll showing Harris making some gains with a slight lead nationally over Trump, though dead even in the battleground states.
And Democrats aren't the only ones in Chicago today. Allies of former President Trump plan to hold a press conference later this morning at Trump Tower. Florida Senator Rick Scott and Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson plan to talk about what they call disastrous economic policies of the Biden-Harris administration. They also believe the country was better under Donald Trump. Well, with the DNC in town, several protests are planned for today and throughout the week.
And the biggest demonstration we're expecting is the coalition to march on the DNC, protesting Israel's war in Gaza. That begins in less than an hour. And this is a map of the city-approved route. Protest organizers have said it's too winding, it's too narrow for the estimated crowd of up to 25,000 people. The city, though, refused calls to change it, so we'll be watching today to see how this demonstration goes.
And many have made their way to Chicago to make their voices heard during the Democratic National Convention.
And our Darius Johnson live in Union Park with more on the
We'll
protest
stick with this for a
planned
minute.
for today. Darius, we see they're already gathering behind you. Good morning.
Dana and Audrina, good morning to you both. Yes, that press conference is scheduled to get underway in less than an hour at 10 o'clock ahead of the protest that's scheduled for 12. But since 6 o'clock this morning, we've seen people start to descend on Union Park. Take a look behind me right now. You can see it's about maybe 100 people right now, maybe a little bit more than 100, but not too many people. They have started to make their way here. They have been getting signs together all throughout the morning. They've been putting on these kind of brighter colored safety vests and different things. They have also been getting speaker systems and a stage set up as well. Take a look. Just yesterday, Chicago was put to the test during a protest where many participated in the first rally. It started at Wacker in Michigan as a reproductive rights rally, but turned into a Free Palestine rally as protesters gathered and made their way down Michigan Avenue before ending at Grant Park. Chicago police were out in full force lining the streets, including Superintendent Larry Snelling, as hundreds marched on the night before the start of the DNC. Here's what the mayor had to say about safety and security during the convention. Take a listen.
Our police officers are going to be working a lot of hours. And they have my vote of confidence, and I certainly will be right alongside of them. But we also will make sure that the entire city as a whole remains secure, because, again, protecting this city is my top priority, and I will continue to do that.
There are more protests planned today. Of course, the one that we are waiting on right now, the coalition to march on the DNC, which is comprised of 270 organizations. Their mission is to fight for the rights and the liberation of the oppressed, while also calling an end for the aid to Israel. Again, that press conference scheduled at 10 o'clock this morning. Next up, the Poor People's Rally, the Poor People's Army, rather, is a national group of self-organized poor and homeless people. Their goal is to bring awareness to the epidemic of homelessness and poverty. They have a 1 p.m. press conference and a 4 o'clock rally that will start at Humboldt Park, coming here to the United Center. Back out here live this morning, they are slowly starting to make their way to the stage to get ready for that 10 o'clock press conference. Of course, we'll bring that to you on the stream. For now, we're in Union Park. I'm Darius Johnson, CBS News, Chicago.
Darius, it looks like it could be quite a crowd out there. Thanks so much.
And as those protesters plan to speak out against the war in Gaza, Palestinians are mourning the loss of loved ones killed just over the weekend. Overall, Israel airstrikes across Gaza both Saturday and Sunday killed 29 people. We do want to warn you, the video you're about to see may be hard to look at as we talk about the latest Israeli airstrike killing a woman and her 6 children. According to local hospital officials, the youngest child was just 18 months old. The others were 10 years old. Quintuplets. More than 40,000 Palestinians have been killed since Israel launched its military campaign in response to the October 7th Hamas attacks.
Meanwhile, Secretary of State Antony Blinken is in Israel today
Is that
for another round of
Left
ceasefire
Bros?
talks.
What is that a
The visit
group?
comes
CF?
after
Sorry for
Israel
not
and Hamas
knowing.
rejected a bridging proposal
Should I know, or is it
created
just
by the
you're
U.S.
just
last
talking
week.
about like
Hamas
libertarian
is now
bros?
accusing Israel of adding new demands to that
Weirdo
agreement.
kind
Israeli
of
Prime Minister Benjamin
burn it all
Netanyahu
down,
says he won't
but
outright end
we're
the
not sure
war
what to
in
build
Gaza
after that
and wants
kind of
Israeli
thing.
troops to remain in that
Yeah.
area.
It is 9:11 this morning as we switch gears to our first alert forecast. As we look outside right now over Navy Pier, we have
Weirdos.
some sun
Oh,
peeking
yes,
out there.
got
There
you.
is
Okay.
a warning, though, for
Yeah,
anyone trying to
yeah.
swim.
I mean,
or
the
go to beaches
infiltration
as we
is
turn
now
out
the
to
new
meet Artist
the new
Laura
little
Bannon.
black
Laura,
dress.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, down
Right?
at the corner
It's
there
what
at
you-
Oak Street, you can
it's
see that the waves
suitable
are
for every
choppy this
occasion.
morning. And we're going to see those high waves in place through today into tomorrow evening with this beach
Do
hazard
not
statement.
boat.
We're going to see waves anywhere between
Do not
5
boat to the
8 feet, and that swings into
Democratic
northwest
National
Indiana up toward
Convention.
Michigan beaches too. Wind speeds are coming right down the lake, so the closest that you are to the
wanna add
lake, you're going to be
that
feeling
thing
those
that
stronger
Bobo
breezes.
made.
Farther inland, still feeling those cool breezes coming in from the north. We've got high pressure and control. Things are going to be nice and calm, but not so much out over the lake. Wave height right now anywhere between 3 to 4 or 5 feet. We're likely going to see those build through the day today. That's going to be a heads up again. Boating and swimming really shouldn't be doing that today, especially with the waters like this. But also, if you are visiting from town, those waves get over onto the lakefront
This is what
trail,
Bobo
and that
made.
pavement can
I
get
love
really
this.
slick. So
Delectable,
just be easy if you're gonna be
non-contextual
walking around
coconuts.
out there. Sunshine galore today. Highs go up into the
That
70s.
is so my
Jackie,
child.
back to you.
All right, Laura, thank you.
That is
and
so
now to
my
your
child.
nonstop news. The search for a missing swimmer may resume this morning out at Rainbow Beach, but the
Oh,
choppy
no.
water is making it difficult.
Okay, well, I'm so sorry. Actually, I did find the speeches that are currently being made. I'm not really inclined to listen to them. Let me just see if there's something else very current, if you will. Nope, the same thing. That's the same thing. That's the same thing. I'll say it again. That's the same thing. Yeah. Bill Donahue passed away. Wow. That's too bad. That's too bad. Well, let me come back. Delectable, non-contextual coconuts. Like, okay, you're against that, but this isn't remotely about. Wait, when I lived in San Francisco, the reverse circumcision people would always try to get into my demonstration. What? On any demonstration, rather. Yes, Red-Brown Alliance. Yes. Yes, thanks to Jim and Gal, I learned about that. So, I understand the third... What is it? The third, I can't recall the term. Butterflies, I'm used to it. And she puts up, oh, Paul J, you're good. You're a good-un. You're a good-un. Like, okay, you're against it, but this isn't remotely about that. I know. Well, and that's, this is why, okay, so this is the difference between Mars and Venus is the same difference between conservatives and liberals, in that you can't, the conservatives, aka some men, will glom onto an existing movement because that's their MO, and that's the MO of the Republican Party and the conservative movement. They glom onto whatever they can because they're going to do the least amount of work for the most amount of gain. I'm not sure if it's going to be all day. I'm probably going to take a break in the middle of the day and then come back at, I don't know, either 4 or 5 Pacific time. So 3 hours for the East Coast, and then everything in between outside. So I'm not sure how far this morning I will go. Uh-oh, we've got breaking news. Guys. 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 Hold on. Breaking news from Gal Suburban. Man, I cannot ever get this thing to just do what I need it to do. Okay, that's what I needed it to do. All right, here we go. The Georgia Election Board. Jiminy crickets. Jiminy crickets. Guys. The Georgia Election Board convened this morning at 9 a.m. This is Lisa Rubin, Law of Ruby is the handle. To consider several proposed rule changes, including one that would require hand counting of Georgia ballots. Another proposed rule they are weighing this morning would allow any individual county election board member to request any and all election-related documentation before certifying county-level results. Currently, we're hearing public comments from those who oppose these proposed rules. Wanda Mosley of Black Voters Matter just powerfully told the board, with democracy on the ballot, you would think this body would be concerned, but instead, your actions suggest otherwise. A Forsyth County elections administrator is now telling the board that their proposed rule to require hand count of paper ballots by precinct is needless busy work. And now we're hearing from Lynn Durham, a Gwinnett County, Gwinnett, yeah? Or did I say that wrong? County resident who says she's in the political middle, but objects to the board's refusal to define the term, quote, reasonable, which she says will result in chaos come November. History has its eyes on you, she ends. What's notable about today's meeting is that many of the commenters are veteran election administrators whose concerns are practical, not partisan. One just objected, for example, that the chain of custody could be compromised by requiring that so many hands touch the ballots. Another county election administrator said one of the rules under consideration would set, quote, 159 counties up for failure, as well as additional costs that some counties cannot afford. We've moved on to public comments on a rule proposed by Fulton County Commissioner Bridget Thorne that would, quote, reconcile the number of votes and the number of voters. Oh, my God. She has brought with her 3 lawyers, including Ken motherfucker Cuccinelli, who has not yet spoken. Cuccinelli told the board he didn't want to dwell on 2020 at all because the other side was complaining in 2016, and it's whoever loses complains, suggesting that the 2020 election denialism was equivalent to concerns raised in 2016. And what I said was a quote, want to dwell, and about to complain. Look at the screen, if you may. He continued, quote, I will tell you from my old prosecutor days, the best way to avoid problems is to make clear to folks that you will catch the problems and fix them, and you will hold people accountable. Oh, I'm so sorry. You can't even see this. I'm so goofy. Let's see. We're now hearing from Sally Grubbs, the chair of Cobb County's GOP, who insists that the proposed reconciliation rule would do nothing more than Georgia law requires before complaining about the other side's talking points filtering down to county election officials. All right, so that's, she doesn't have another one. Let me go ahead and repost that. Excellent. Thank you, Gal. Off topic, but this cool low-tech Kinshasa music band came across my Kokoko. That's so cool. I love West African music. We had no election problems before MAGA, right? Well, and here's the thing. What they want with this whole prove your citizenship thing, You're basically saying either bring your birth certificate or your passport. You're telling me that all the maggots know where all that shit is? Are you telling me that they're not going to lose their collective poop buckets when they get in line and then they discover that they too have to prove that they're citizens? You think about that? Unintended consequences much? I don't know. We did, but not this bad. Yeah, it's true. It's not, you're right. I mean, it's just so much lying. I mean, it's just right out lying. That's bottom line. Big old fucking lies. BOFL. BOFL. So yeah. What is this? What are you doing? Leave me alone. Yeah, wow. Fascist babies. I know, they are fascist babies. That can cause problems for married women. Then do you need your marriage license, right? What if you're divorced and your name's like there's a million reasons why this is a very bad idea. It's just a very bad idea. They're so dumb. They're so dumb. I can't even believe it. I can't even believe it.
At the age of 88. He spent more than 10 years doing that show here in Chicago, including at our former Streeterville studios on McClurg Court. The University of Notre Dame graduate started hosting the show in 1967. It featured serious subjects, including gay.
You know, the thing about Phil Donahue was I actually, as a youngster growing up, I really recall thinking that's groundbreaking. You know, he would say things that you really wanted to scream at the television, I guess, in the old days. And I'm sure he never did enough or whatever. He had his own problematic moments, I'm confident. But at the same time, he really seemed to like ask questions of people that were important to ask. So, Ernesto, is that what Jim Nalgren, are you still here? Is that the one that's causing problems for you all? Ernesto? Or is there another one? I feel like everybody's getting battered with these storms. It's just terrible. That stuff scares me. You know, we've had more earthquakes this fall than usual, or this late summer than usual. Like we had 2 pretty good rollers, and I'm like, wow, that's kind of a lot of earthquakes, one after the other for us. That are feelable. You know, there's probably smaller ones that we don't even feel, but it is kind of interesting. No, God, don't go on boats and just don't do it. People really underestimate boats. Boats are very, very dangerous. I love living on a boat, but I am humbled by the power a boat has to fuck you up. Oh, they're kind of running stuff around here. Okay. All right. Let's go back to our other thing. Hold on. Oh, that's so much better. Riptide. Yeah, be careful. Oh, God. That's why, well, it's not true. I actually don't like, yeah, the current scares me about swimming in the ocean. I just feel, I'm always a baby about that stuff. I'm a baby about it. I don't like it. I like lake swimming now. You're getting hammered on your Florida house. We have to get a new roof for the insurance company will drop us property tax. Oh, fully. Oh, good job. Good job, DeSantis. Is he even like around anymore? I feel like we haven't heard from him in a long time. Oh, you know what I should try and find is if they have see. Anybody else doing anything interesting? No. 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 What? Hold on. Hold on. Just in, DA Bragg does not oppose Trump's request to delay his sentencing, instead deferring to Justice Merchan. They note the new and complex effect of the Supreme Court's immunity ruling. See? Oh, here we go. Maybe I can just make it. Well, maybe I could. Well, what if I did? Well, what if I did? But what if I did? Thank you. Damn it. All right. Good enough. Okay. Alvin Bragg. This letter addresses defendants August 14th, 2024. Zane did a video just about today's aspects. Ooh. Before supermoons will win. Wait, what? My favorite astrologers indicate this is going to be a tough time in terms of planetary. Oh. Don't say that. Damn it. I'm just glad we don't own a condo. Those people are getting hammered. HOA fees are skyrocketing. So are the special assessments. Well, yeah, because they're built not good enough. Okay. Requesting an adjournment of the sentencing date. The people defer to the court on the appropriate post-trial schedule that allows for adequate time to adjudicate defendants' blah, blah, blah motion while pronouncing sentence without unreasonable delay. To assist the court, we note the following points. Defendant's letter indicates for the first time his intent to seek interlocutory state or federal appellate review before he is sentenced of any adverse ruling on his motion. It is correct that the denial of immunity from prosecution is immediately appealable, but here in contrast to defendant's criminal case in D.C., the question of defendant's immunity from the trial evidence was improperly admitted in light of a brand new evidentiary rule that derives from official acts immunity, and if so, whether any error in admitting official acts evidence was harmless. I don't think I understand that. The Supreme Court's recent decision did not consider whether a trial court's ruling on the distinct evidentiary question is immediately appealable, and there are strong reasons why it should not be. Nonetheless, given the defense's newly stated position, we defer to the court on whether an adjournment is warranted to allow for orderly appellate litigation of that question or to reduce the risk of a disruptive stay from an appellate court pending consideration of that question. The people are prepared to appear for sentencing on any future date the court sets. The people are also mindful that significant public safety and logistical steps by multiple agencies are necessary to prepare for court appearances in this matter. The defendant's newly stated position concerning an immediate appeal of the court's ruling may mean that significant preparatory steps are taken only to have such steps disturbed by appellate litigation. None of defendants' remaining arguments merit any consideration. First, although couched by a scheduling request, defendant re-raises for the fourth time a recusal grievance based on false claims of a potential conflict that have already been rejected over and over by this court, the First Department, and the Advisory Committee. Defendants' ostensibly new argument about the court's family members' co-workers' tweets. About the court's family members' co-workers' tweets is bizarre and has nothing to do with the post-trial schedule. Defendants' concern about a public sentencing submission from the people is also misplaced. Any pre-sentence memorandum the people submit would be sealed. The only way the memorandum would become public is if the court orders otherwise, or the defendant unlawfully discloses it, hint, hint, because you will. Finally, a defendant's apparent insinuation that state prosecutors are incapable of applying federal constitutional law is fundamentally flawed, given that the people in this court protect and apply federal constitutional rights every day. Based on the foregoing, the people respectfully defer to the court on the appropriate post-trial schedule. Well, Matt Colangelo. It's Matty Colangelo. Hey, that's the guy that came from DOJ. That's right. That's right. Wow. Well, there it is then. Well, there it is then. How do you like them apples? Your convention headquarters. Okay, wait. Okay, I see a lot of astrologers very confidently declaring such and such alignment return transit means wonderfulness for democracy on shitter. It's always fun down at the local watering hole when it's a full moon. All the weirdos show up. Yeah, Zane's fun to watch. I like her. She's just very earnest. I like her. She seems like a real... She really puts a lot of thought. I've seen people who put a lot of thought into astrological charts, and it's a ton of work. And so I have respect for that. My trigeminal nerve acted up a few years ago, so I skipped going on the boat. Storm and tornado came in. Friends on the boat caught in the middle of a tornado, whiplash and muscle. Oh my goodness. I've gone through a hurricane on a boat, but it's been docked. But it was still like I had to pull in like the gang, the gangway, kind of like gangplank or whatever. I don't know. Because my boyfriend at the time who owned the boat was somewhere else. He was traveling. And I remember the Broward County sheriffs were sitting in the parking lot if people needed to evacuate, but they hadn't evacuated us. But it was a lot of wind and rough, water at the dock though. So I had to check the lines and everything, and make sure nothing snapped and actually get ready to go if it was like unsafe and blah, 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 blah. But anyway, yeah. And I did remember having to pull up that one, like the gang, whatever that walkway was. It was like aluminum and it was really a bitch, but I got it secured. I don't know why it was down to begin with, frankly. Anyway, trigeminal. I don't know what that means. Half listen to Midas gloss. This could be just state behaving as the court said to while getting in some jabs. Yeah, that's true. Or, it could be kind of like the expected reaction to the Supreme Court ruling. And, blah, blah, blah. This is, them's the breaks. That's why they call it due process. No, I don't know. I don't know where the punchline is there, but yeah, I didn't really listen to the Midas touch part. I tried actually to listen to a couple of Midas touch yesterday, but I lost interest quickly. Sorry, this is the safety briefing. I'm so sorry. We should be listening to this.
And the way that the Chicago police
I
officers
apologize.
responded. We could not do this well if those officers didn't step up and work the way that we trained them to work and they remembered their training, and we'll continue to work that way. With that, let me introduce Secret Service Deputy Special Agent in Charge, Derek Meyer.
Thank you, Superintendent Snelling. Thank you, Mayor
Who's
Johnson.
who's that
Thank you,
handsome?
Director Tirado. I could not
You
ask
can
for better
secret my
partners over the last
service
year.
anytime. Or no, service
My name
my
is Derek
secret
Meyer.
anytime.
I am the Deputy Special Agent
I'm
in
kidding,
charge
I'm
of the
kidding.
United States
Actually, I
Secret
don't find
Service's
him
Chicago
attractive.
Field Office.
There's too much
The security
hair.
plan for the 2024 DNC would not be possible without the help of our federal, state, and local partners.
And he looks like he needs a
I'm proud
nap.
to finally put that plan into action. The DNC is a national special security event, which means the federal government's full complement of resources are available to provide a safe and secure environment. I want to stress there is no better partner the Secret Service could have in the city of Chicago. and the Chicago
Carla,
Police
that's a
Department.
good one.
Superintendent Snelling and CPD are world-class partners. The city of Chicago has had great success when it comes to hosting large events. Just this summer, the city hosted NASCAR, Lollapalooza, and the Air and Water Show. That's only to name a few. Like Chicago, the Secret Service also has a proven track record of securing big events. This is the 79th National Special Security event that the Secret Service has hosted. This is the second this year that the Chicago Field Office will host. The Secret Service supports people's First Amendment rights to express themselves freely and lawfully. We're aware of activities planned throughout and during the convention and are working with the Chicago Police Department to make sure they are safe. There will be some impacts when it comes to traffic and parking, but we have done our best to minimize those disruptions through public outreach. I'm looking forward to a safe and secure DNC. Thank you.
We'll now open this up for questions.
We have microphones. Mary, start there. Tom, you can start.
Hi, Alice Gate of the Chicago Tribune. This question's for the mayor. Mayor Johnson, you had a recent interview in which you described the war in Gaza as genocidal. Can you talk about why come out now and use that label? And how do you reconcile that position with your role in also celebrating the Biden-Harris administration this week?
October 7th terrorist attack we condemned in very certain terms. The first major city to do that. The acts of terror that were executed by Hamas, we've condemned them. We've also called for the releasing of hostages and for the end of this war. You can condemn terrorism and call for peace. It's actually very customary within our tradition here in Chicago. Dr. King called for that. People across America are calling for that, for the immediate releasing of hostages, the end of these acts of terror, and the end to this war. And I will continue to stand by that position because it is the moral position.
Good morning. Question for Superintendent
Good for
Snelling.
him.
Sam Charles from the Chicago Tribune.
How you doing, Sam?
Good morning, Superintendent. Obviously, the DNC goes through Thursday. Are days off canceled for all officers between now and Thursday? And is Friday the day expected where things kind of get back to normal?
That's correct. We just want to make sure that we have the appropriate amount of manpower out there to deal with this. Obviously, though, we know that can be a strain on officers and their families. This is why every district commander and every member of leadership has a wellness plan around officers, just to make sure that officers are hydrated, they're getting breaks, they get an opportunity to rest, that they're nourished. We know, again, that when we look at cognition, we want our officers to be well when they're responding out there. And yesterday was an example of that. When our officers are well rested, when they know that they're being taken care of, they take care of others. So, yes. Pennsylvania, we're
happened.
going to make sure that
Holy
we secure
moly, sorry
everything
about
so
that.
that doesn't happen here.
I tried
We
to
have a great
I
partnership
tried to
with
do
the Secret
something.
Service. We're in constant communication with them. Our partner, Derek Meyer, just a phenomenal partner. Can't say enough about that, and we're communicating, and we're going to make sure that we protect that area.
Superintendent
I want to
Snelling,
add a
Martin
kitty
Costi,
cam.
NPR. Yesterday, the spokesman for the coalition to march on the DNC said that
Mr. Mayor, are hot dogs 20% off at
length of the route that they've been trying to
the
get longer,
Wieners Circle
that
during convention
basically
hours?
the size of the crowd dictates where people go, Chicago rules, implying that people might start departing the official route. What's your philosophy if people start going to side streets, that kind of thing?
Listen, the length of the route doesn't matter. We've seen early on with some of the protests that started last year, upwards of 10 to 15,000
I'm muted.
people.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm muted.
And it wasn't about the length
Wait,
of
can
the
you hear me
route.
now?
It was about the control efforts put in place. Number one, the organizers. The organizers in some of these protests have done a very good job policing themselves and policing each other. They've worked with us in partnership. We've talked to them because if we know what those routes are going to be and the direction they're moving, then we can do our best to ensure the safety of everyone within that group. If you watch us, and if you watch the way that we've been training with our bikes, we have a way of keeping everybody in line and keeping everybody on the route. So this won't be a log jam. We're going to make sure that if anything happens, that we have to call an
Yeah, you should be able to hear me
make sure that
now.
everyone is safe. We will do that.
I tried to plug
But
in a
just keep
kitty
in mind,
cam.
there's
I'm an
traffic
idiot.
throughout our city. There are intersections that we have
I need to
make
do that
sure
between streams.
that everyone gets through safely so that there are no car accidents or someone who decides to drive into a crowd. So we're going to make sure that we protect everybody.
Good morning, Superintendent. Michelle Gallardo with ABC 7. My question for you is, and you already alluded to this, obviously yesterday you had your first chance to see how the training of officers would play out with, the first of the many protests that is going to happen this week. But of course, today's the big day. It's going to be significantly more people, tens of thousands potentially versus hundreds. So is there any, difference in what we saw yesterday to what we will see today? Yesterday we saw the bike patrols. Certainly there was no riot gear in sight. I'm sure
Democrats
that was
really
on
know how to
purpose.
throw a
But
party,
when you're
don't they?
dealing with potentially tens of thousands of people, does that change? Do the officers today, will we see them in protective gear? Are there any differences, majorly in what we will see compared to yesterday?
No, what you're going to see, if we see more people, you will just see a fuller effect of what you saw yesterday. As far as riot gear, we don't need officers out there in riot gear if people are protesting peacefully. What has been questioned is, can the Chicago Police Department respond to First Amendment activity without arresting people or without it turning violent? Yes, we can. And there's no reason to have someone out in riot gear if no one's rioting. If people are out there having their voices heard, expressing their First Amendment rights, which we saw yesterday, there is absolutely no reason to be confrontational. We actually want people to speak out, say what they need to say, and it's not about agreeing with what anyone has to say, it's about respecting it. And we're going to respect people's constitutional rights, and we're going to make sure that we're not escalating anything. We want to make sure that this goes off safely and everybody gets the opportunity to have their voices heard.
Hi, Mayor. Heather Sharon, WTTW. Can you give us a preview of what you're going to tell the convention tonight? And what do you hope people, after they leave Thursday, Friday, will tell their friends about Chicago?
I would hope, thank you for that question. I would hope that people walk away from Chicago in love with the city as much as I'm in love with this city and as much as the people are in love with this city. And there are a lot of great reasons to be in love with this city. 20% of the world's fresh water is in our front yard through the Great Lakes and the St. Lawrence. Electricity came to life here in the World Fair. The city that launched, the consciousness of America through the writings of Ida B. Wells. I want them to understand that profound history, from electricity to the Model T to Carnegie to quantum computing. That all rhymed, didn't it? Maybe I should say that tonight, Heather. But I want them to know that, you know, Chicago is a love story. A Black Haitian immigrant, a Potawatomi woman at the banks of the river set up a trade post so that the entire world could come together.
Guaranteed.
And exchange ideas and hopes and aspirations. And that's what I want people to walk away with, and that's essentially what I'll articulate tonight.
Good morning. My question is for Superintendent Snelling, Carmen Morales with Univision. How many federal agencies and from other states are here assisting, and how are the resources being distributed inside and outside of the perimeter?
Well, I wish I could give you a number, but what I can tell you is I swore in a large number of mutual aid officers who came in from all around the state and Milwaukee. We also have the state police here. We have the Cook County Police who are helping out with that. The Capitol Police are here. We have agencies from across the country here. Most of our mutual aid officers are from right within Illinois, and with Milwaukee being the outlier. They are in charge of a lot of the infrastructure. So a lot of the locations where we know need to be secured, this is where we have the mutual aid partners distributed. This frees up our officers to be out in the field because of the extensive training that those officers have. We would rather have our officers patrolling and responding to these incidents rather than having someone from outside of our agency do those things.
Chief Snelling, good morning. My name is Tarso with Bloomberg News. I have a question for you. Are you concerned about the protest that will happen outside the Israeli consulate on Tuesday? Their slogan is "Make it great like '68."
Well, listen, I'm concerned about a lot of things. And when we become concerned about things, the more important thing is what can we influence, all right? So what is our response going to be to any situation that happens? Listen, it's this simple. The Chicago Police Department is here to protect everyone in this city. We will protect people's rights, again, their First Amendment rights, their rights of expression. What we will not tolerate is intimidation. We will not tolerate violence.
I can imagine.
And we want every single person in this city to feel safe. And we will protect anyone from harm or danger. So anything that comes up where and I've said it a million times, where we think there's a potential for violence, vandalism, we will put an end to that as soon as it starts.
Superintendent, we understand that some bricks were found in and around Union Park by officers in recent days. Have any more bricks been found?
Not to my knowledge, but you know, we keep an eye out for those things because if we can stop that before it starts. Because look, when you have a large group of people who want to express their First Amendment rights, the larger number of that group are just simply here to do that. Sometimes you get lone wolf people or you get a group that will infiltrate that group, and under that umbrella, they will try to commit acts of violence or try to escalate a situation. We're out there to stop.
This is CBS News.
What the hell?
Right now, at 11:29 days after President Biden dropped out of the presidential race, he prepares to pass the torch tonight to his VP, Kamala Harris.
Why did you go to that one?
Democratic National
Oh my God! Why can't we hear the wait? What?
Begin with an update on the DNC
okay. Oh, I see. It was a break. Okay, I understand. Sorry. Sorry, everybody.
The Office
Sorry.
of Emergency Management and Communications. They're taking questions. Let's listen in.
So they were kind enough to allow these people the opportunity to speak. So that was an agreement. So any other, so that wasn't a security breach. So when we know that there's a possibility of a security breach, we'll make sure, because we have officers there to stop that from happening. But that was an agreement yesterday.
That's the last question.
Okay. Hey, Sean Mulcahy, Chicago Reader. I just wanted to follow up on the Poor People's Army. So my understanding was that the city was required to grant a permit to march right in front of, like on Madison Street. Could you just confirm like how that squares with not being able to get inside the security perimeter?
So you would look into that. We're here. What I can tell you is this, because I don't have all of the information on that right now, so I don't want to give you any bad information. Here's what
The mayor and the police superintendent there saying the city is ready.
Are you kidding?
Cooperation among the state
CBS.
and federal law enforcement
You
officials. And here we go.
are
All
booty.
eyes are on the
You're
Windy City.
idiots.
The stage is set for day one of the Democratic National
Oh my
Convention.
God.
CBS News Chicago is your convention headquarters.
Really?
Marissa Perlman
Because
is
you
covering
just
the big
cut away
breakfast
when
that
there
kicked
was
off
like
the day for
something
delegates. It's
important.
all size in the Gold Coast, where security for VIP delegates is tight. And Darius Johnson is at one of the many protests planned for today.
Wow.
And at the center of it all, this is the main stage at the
Wow.
United Center, a live look inside hours
Oh.
before the crowds pack in. That's where Dana Kozlov and Adrena Sinclair join us live with a look at some of the big moments planned for today at the DNC.
Poor programming
Hi, Jim.
decisions,
So good to
right?
see you. Very big lineup for the first night
No,
of the
I
convention
do
here
love
in
the green
city.
suit.
Tonight's
I'm going to
keynote
tell you that
address
right
will
now.
pump up
I'm
the
not
crowd
totally
as
big on
well
Coral,
as
but I'm just
pass
not a
the
Coral
baton.
fan.
Mayor Brandon Johnson will give a welcome address to delegates.
Okay.
Former Secretary
We've
of
actually
State and
heard
first
this.
female.
I love these women, but we have actually already heard this. So I'm going back to the campfire. So here's what I'm going to. I think that we've reached our pinnacle for this morning, frankly. Yep. Yeah, they seriously cut in the middle of the fucking like briefing. I can't sometimes with these people. I'm gonna see if there's something else. Hold on. Hold on to your love. You got to hold on. Hold on to your love. You got to hold on. Well, ABC Chicago is also not at the briefing. Let's see. There's that. And that one, nope. Who's outside? Anybody outside? Does anybody really know what time it is? Does anybody really care about time? Ooh. All right, Carla. See ya. I know, right? Kind of silly. Oh, well, there is this. Hold on. This is live. This is live. Yes, this is live. Hey, this is live. Hey, this is live. This is AP's feed. The Associated Press. And it looks like it's a little code pink action. It looks like it's a little code pink. Oh, the baby. I see dancing. Time to confront the deflated tire. First to the free air pressure shop. Or find neighbors to change. See, I know. We're in the same boat, Paul Langan. Or the donut to get you to the collision center. Yeah, I know. It probably is time to confront the deflated tire. God, I gotta go down and look at it. It's time to be a grown-up. Time to be a grown-up. I will in a minute. I'm not going to do it yet. It's only 9 o'clock here. God, nobody's even open yet. Nobody's even open. We'll watch these guys get ready for their protest for a minute. No more avoiding the obvious and refill your coffee mug. Ooh, you know what? Good point. It's right here. God, I really wish I could get the kitty cam going. Oh, I think I'm at the end. What are business hours in LA? I don't know. Well, actually, I mean, technically 9 is, yeah. Technically things are open now. I'm fibbing. I told a little lie. I told a tiny lie. Yeah, they're probably open. I need to just go down and yeah. But I will. I mean, I will. Don't. Hey man. Don't worry. Don't worry. But did you see my schedule? Like I built a schedule. I'm really trying. I'm really trying to be a grown up. That's not true. Limited capabilities, which is fine. I'm learning to live with that. Watched most of Wood Hearing again. That he is so insane. He's so insane. Thanks. Thanks. No, I know. And I still have work to do on it. But and then the other thing I have, hold on. Then the other thing I have, let me show you what else I have. It's really cool. Hold on. Let me show you. I'm really proud of this too. This one is not really, this is very much more a work in progress, but you'll get the idea. Okay, so this is my thing for like future shows, okay? Like if I have an idea I want to do, then I'll put it here. So like, for example, I know I want to focus on like the fake electors cases. And these dates don't mean anything because I won't be ready. But like I want to present some stuff on what's the Arizona fake electors, what about the Minnesota, what about a Michigan, what about a Wisconsin, and then I want to do some in real life streaming with registering to vote and getting out there in the dinosaur and all that kind of good stuff. And then I really want to interview Gal and Jim. Insurrection was Plan B 3 years on, right? And then we need to, in tribute to our beautiful friend, Don't Go to the Show Bye, who passed last week, and we miss her terribly. We want to show one of her favorite movies in the Discord, Idiocracy. So I want to plan that. I want to get back to our book, The Ministry for the Future. And then I'm really enjoying Dredge, which is a game that I'm playing. Anyway, so this is just a place for me to capture all that stuff. And then, no, there's more. Oh, there's more. So then I have this idea for Meet the Maggots, right? My Meet the Maggots thing. And so I started making a list of all the maggots that I want to really focus on. So like I was thinking about Tom. Like I'm just like totally making just random notes. Anyway, that's my brain. You're welcome. No. Yeah, so that's what I was working on yesterday. Trying to keep my mind busy. A busy mind, and then you don't get into trouble, you just want to stay out of trouble there, lady. Come on now, you know how it is. You just really need to stay out. What the hell? Is that not working? Oh, interesting. Okay. Anyway. All right, let me get rid of this. Is this working? Wait. Do 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 do. Bum bum bum. Okay, well, all right. You're not gonna show me. Okay. Then just forget it. I was looking to see if the boys with the Trump Tower Chicago or whatever were going to be standing outside doing their nonsense, but I don't see it. Do 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 bum 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 bum. Oh wait, I have that. Okay, that. No, not as much from around as I thought. From the outside. Oh, we got the puppets. The Ministry for the Future. I know. It's a great book. It's such a great book. Oh, that park. Yeah, it probably smells really good. Because you know what? They know how to party, right? Leftists know how to party. That's for sure. Yeah, I was looking, as we were looking for like Lynn Wood stuff, like just if, Lynn Wood to me is one of the fascinating characters, obviously, of this play that is not fictional, a nonfiction play, if you will, that we're living in. It's like, what is that immersive theater? When you go to immersive theater, that's what I'm going to start referring to this as immersive theater, which is terrible because I don't want to minimize the impact of the oppression that comes from chaos and other things. Proud Boys in their best Antifa outfits purchased on eBay. It could be. It could be. Stranger things have happened. But regardless, yeah, I wouldn't film people, but that's okay. Regardless, this is, yeah. Okay, so this is what the AP has right now. I guess things aren't really heating up. Okay, so here's what I think I'm going to do. We're coming up on almost 3 hours anyway. So I think I'm going to release you from my grasp this morning. And then I will probably adjust the time to go live at 4 o'clock Pacific, which is 7 o'clock. I think that's when the festivities begin in earnest. So watch my channel and set a notification for today's later stream, second stream. And should read Greg's book. It's a pretty short read. Oh, Rough Beast, yes. Well, I would love to read that. I don't want to take anything away from his work in terms of, I haven't talked to him about that, but I definitely would love to do that. I would love to read that book out loud. That would be great. I have it. I have that book. Yes, I love that book. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. I'll put that on the list. I'll reach out to Greg and see if he's okay with that. I think he probably, well, maybe. I don't know, we'll see. I know he's got plans. When you're launching a book, it's a little different. You want to be precious with it. So I want to make sure I'm noted. Are you trying to link something? I'm sorry, Paul. It doesn't let you actually send links, but yeah, that, well, yeah, you can also listen to good old me, although you should pay for the book so that Mr. Robinson gets his royalties and everybody involved. But also, you can also listen to it just a couple chapters at a time. So it's actually probably very frustrating to try and listen to me read a book. I should probably just pre-record everything. That's the smart idea. Anyways, all right. I will definitely see you later on this afternoon. Thank you so much for coming. Sorry, the AP cameraman is trying to kill us. Not linking, suggesting, yes. The Ministry of Time, a hardcover. Excellent. I love it. I love it. All right. Okay. See you. Yeah, I got to go check my tire. Okay. All right. I'll see you guys later. Have a wonderful day. And I'll see you soon.